3, 2, 1, and welcome back to Chasing the Racing.
Brought to you by OMG Racing, JCT Truck and Trailer Hire, and Bennetts Bike Insurance. And we have our episode sponsor, which is Jets Technical Services. I tell you what, with a company like that, I'm going to have to let you read that out, Josh. Go pull up your phone, you go for that. Son.
Yeah, so, this episode...
It's too posh. I'll get you.
One of my glasses.
Brilliant.
I know, again, so this episode sponsor is actually a previous sponsor of Chrissy and also of a couple of other guys in the paddock.
And Lissy Whitmore,
yes, right? A couple of guys and girls in the paddock. Yeah, so Jets Technical Services are like a small consultancy firm for... private jets, essentially, from technical perspective, things like making sure it's worthy to be in the air. Essentially, this was a very important job. Let's face it, a pretty unique.
You don't want to get that one wrong.
No,
pretty unique thing, and similar to last week's episode sponsor as well. They've said look, actually, we understand this is not a money making exercise. We're huge fans of the podcast and would love to support it. So thanks very much, guys, for that. And they've also mentioned in here that they're sponsoring, as you mentioned there before, they're still sponsoring Lizzie in the Women's World Championship, which is obviously just kicked off at Mazzano a few weeks back. So that's brilliant. Thanks very much, guys.
There we are. And so, as you heard from there, Josh is our co-host. Now it's time to introduce the guest, the main man, the man I've been trying to track down for how long would you say, my man?
It's been a while.
It's been a while, but it's been worth the wait. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Kiefer Moore. How are we doing, son?
I'm still alive, mate. Not a bad start.
Am I saying that right, by the way? Is it AMOR? Is it?
As long as it's not asshole, I don't care because I've been going through it since school as long as I can remember. My father pronounces it AMOR, but
AMOR.
Yeah, but even McGuinness still calls me AMOR and always has done.
Aye.
We were teammates for 2 and a bit years or something.
Love it. I tell you what, I tell you what, as far as road race is concerned, you are the grit, the grind, you are the man. But like you just briefly said, you rode for Factory Honda. So putting that context for our listeners, you're not a mug on a motorcycle, are you shite? Very humble. You can already hear by the exhale on this side of things. Yeah.
I had a few decent moments. I mean, I was lucky enough across my career to kind of start where I did and just kind of lucked my way into it, really.
I tell you what, I was a bit starstruck because the first time I saw Keith was the last Classic TT, and I was very lucky that I got on the podium. And then I walked into the VIP suite, which is the Mercury Club at the TT, and this is the Manx, obviously, sorry. And I just goes, well, hold on, we've just come off the podium, where's me pint? Kind of thing, joking on. Within 5 minutes, straight down, there you are, son. I went, Keith just give me a pint. This is one of the coolest moments ever. I
understand what it's like when you're sometimes you just need a pint.
Yeah. I thought you were just trying to shut them up. It's normally what we do to keep them quiet.
No comment.
Oh, fantastic. But I'll tell you what, this is proper old school. We did a catch-up last time. We did a little bit of a catch-up with John McGuinness on that side. Like you say, you've been teammates with him, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your story. And no, because we bumped into each other properly. It was at the TT this year. We're having a bit of crack, and do I dare say you're a bit of an open book, and that's what I like about you. Is that a fair comment? Or?
Kind of. I just need to be careful what I say.
It's all good. Grace will look after you. Don't you worry about that sort of thing. So it'll be grand. No, but what's going to be interesting, we'll talk about it later in the pod, is how you fell out of love with racing, which is normally we have guests on and it's easy to talk about the positives all the time in racing, but it'll be interesting to see your angle of it. But before we go down why you fell out of it, before we go down that rabbit hole, let's talk about how the hell you got into bike racing to begin with. Seriously, from the top, son.
Right.
Even I don't know this story. I just know you as Factory Honda.
I only ended up getting into road racing because I think it was it must have been 2000. And I sat my direct access motorcycle test and passed that. And then a friend of mine, Tommy Drysdale, owns Drysdale Motorcycles in Perth.
KTM dealer?
Yeah, he's an everything dealer now. Totally. Yeah.
Is he one of your clients by any chance, Josh?
He's not a Norton dealer, no.
No, not dealer. They are just the nod straight away from Josh. I know him. Why do you know him?
If you're at the motocross, everybody knows Tommy. Yeah. But I just went up there after I passed my test, and first bike that I bought was an R1.
I tell you what, even before we go down the road side of it.
Hang on a minute, you kind of gloss over that.
No, you can't.
Your first bike was an R1.
My first road bike. I mean, I came from motocross like back in the day. I mean,
Hold on, I was told that you could pedal a motocross bike. Now, come on. We're going to drive this out of him, this humbleness.
I used to be able to, yeah. I'm old and fucked now, man. It's just, yeah. It's, don't get me wrong, I mean, I still love riding dirt bikes. I mean, when I retired the first time at the end of 2011, after I'd like annihilated that.
No, but if
went to Cyprus and I had an enduro business out there. I had like 15 CRF 250s, and it was epic. And I mean epic. I would have stayed there, but unfortunately Ryan Farquhar talked me into going racing again and fucking left me. Yeah.
He's got a lot to answer for then.
he does, by the sounds of it.
Oh no, like Ryan and I used to be like, yeah, arch rivals. I mean, eternal enemies. It was, yeah, there was no love lost between Ryan and I.
So how did it, so going from that to him talking you back into racing,
well, he'd retired as well. I mean, I think it was, yeah, Christmas 2013, and I was drunk and he was drunk. It was Class. Christmas Eve or whatever it was, and he's just sent me a message saying, "You want to start racing again?" I replied back to him thinking he was full of shit. I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it if you do it." And he went right in. Oh yeah, like a week later, well, just after New Year, he's right on my case going. So I ended up racing for Ryan in 2014.
Bloody hell.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, going from like almost fighting and like, we had a few moments.
Yeah, did you? How many times did you question if he gave you the shit bike or not?
Well, to be fair, when I went the first time I raced it, first time when I raced the first time, Northwest 200, and I think Lee Johnson kind of took me off the track at the first corner. Not the first corner,
the hairpin.
The hairpin, yeah, whatever. And I ended up on the curb, as did Lee. I remember saying to Lee before we started the race, I was like, dude, whatever you do, just fucking relax. First lap. Next minute I'm on the pavement. Fucking cheers, man. But to be fair, Ryan's bike was fast, eh?
Yeah.
And I ended up towing Lee round, and then it was like we came up through the field until I think I was and second, and Lee was right behind me, and unfortunately my bike expired, but I towed Lee right up to
the podium.
And then he told Lee we ended up winning the race after running me off the track.
Was that in the 600 or the Twins?
No, the Twins.
That was in the Twins.
Yeah, that was in the Twins. Yeah.
I tell you what, I think like we're gonna have to put a pin in this because there's loads I want to ask about, like the Farquhar days and everything, and like the build up to this. There's like I thought this would be easy. I'm not going to lie. This is great. I know a little bit about you, and I want to talk about like the motocross days and like you fell in love. But let's talk about when you were 19 and you buggered off to Africa. Is that right?
Yeah, I was 19. Yeah, I was 1991, and I think 1990 I won the Scottish Motocross Championship.
So hold on, we're going from I could all right pedal a bike to Scottish champion. Hold on, let's talk. I want details, man. I want to know the story.
I done it right, but then I decided I wasn't going to race anymore. But anyway, there was a thing in Zimbabwe called the Summer Series, and it used to be massive, like almost world champions, Cup Nickel, and I mean they paid for everything. That was the most epic thing I've ever done. So anyway, I didn't fucking know where Zimbabwe was.
Someone approached you about this then?
My brother was part of the British team.
Right, okay.
So basically what happens at Summer Series is there's a Supercross Championship that's run over like a few weeks, and the Summer Series, which is the Motocross Championship, which obviously being in the Southern Hemisphere, runs, I think we went over there in pretty much towards the end of November. And then we raced lots of different places around about Zimbabwe and stuff. I mean, it was just purely by chance. There was a guy who used to be British Enduro champion, Eddie Smith.
Eddie Smith, yeah.
And I think it was Eddie Smith. Anyway, terrible names. He'd had to drop out, and my brother was going anyway. And Vic Allen, who is Jim Allen's brother, who's Robbie Allen, who is the oldest man to ever do the Dakar. He said, look, do you want to go to Zimbabwe? And I was like, "No, fuck Zimbabwe," like, and he's like Africa. I'm like, what, like lions and shit? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, he's like, well, you know, we'll pay you to go and blah blah, take your bike and run over and everything. And so obviously my brother was going anyway. My friend Ashley Kane, who's the local lad, who was a top British motocross at the time and done Grand Prix. There was loads of folk that I knew going, so it was like, yeah, I'll go. And I'll never forget it. Like when we got in the plane, and I don't really like flying that much. And my mum was like, I said to her before, "What? You got any sleeping tablets?" She's like, yeah. I said, like, perfect. And we got in the plane, and literally, but it was half empty, and I just took like a handful of sleeping tablets, 4 seats, and I'll never forget it because I woke up when we'd landed, and I was like, the stewardess obviously come over and said, "Put your seatbelt and stuff on." And I was like, gaga. Yeah. And I'm like, kind of fell down again. Anyway, I'm like, shit, we've arrived and that, and then got into like the arrivals area and stuff, and there's a guy standing in front of me, listen, his name is Jeff Long, but he's only got one leg, and honestly, like a pirate, like just that wooden stump and the thing, and I'm standing there still like going, what the fuck is going on here, man? There's a guy with one leg standing in front of me going, yeah, I'm the man that runs the summer series. I'm like, yeah, pleased to meet you, man. I told him my little brother, I was like, is this shit for real? And he's like, yeah, man. I'm like, so I need to go to bed, like.
So they're good sleeping pills for anyone that.
Oh yeah, they're going serious.
Does your mum still supply? You know,
Unfortunately, no, he doesn't anymore.
So it's your little brother. I thought, right, so your little brother came to you saying, let's do this.
Well, he was part of it.
He was doing it anyway.
Anyway, so I've got 2 brothers. My youngest brother's Guy, and the middle one's Dennis.
Right.
So it was Dennis. I mean, Dennis was a very good motocrosser as well, as was Guy. But like after, I don't know, after kind of his early 20s or whatever, Dennis stopped racing and decided to be a businessman. That's probably why he's loaded now. He's a millionaire and I'm skint. But yeah, I mean,
but he's not chasing the racing, so there you go.
Well, not yet. He actually, he's pretty much running the Scottish Motocross Championship now, and he's probably going to put a brown on the British next year. And
really,
yeah.
Which track's that then?
I don't know. To be confirmed. I'm not sure exactly. Right. It's all.
Oh, sure, I love this.
I'm not really probably supposed to talk about it.
Are you going to make a track?
I would love to, but.
You've got, what, you were just telling us off air there, but one of your sponsors were excavators and everything like that.
Oh yeah, it's everything's possible.
It's doable.
But I mean, there's so much involved in putting on a motocross event. I mean, my brother's company, I mean, I don't know how many people he actually employs. I mean, it must be 60, 70 odd, whatever.
Bloody hell.
And they've got a lot going on, but it's a big place. So, but Dennis is always in there, like spraying the start gates or fixing the start gates. So I mean, my brother's a workaholic. He just
good lad.
I mean, but he goes to all the motocrosses, and he's just flat out. He just loves motocross. He actually used to have a team with Jonathan Ray.
Right.
Him and Jonathan.
I remember that.
Oh, I tell you what. Now that you mention it, by the way, for
Jar Honda.
Yeah, I remember that.
Jar Honda, Jonathan Andrew Ray.
Right.
That's Johnson, middle name.
There you are. But by the way, a little side note for everyone listening. You lived with Johnny Ray for 2 years. That's right, isn't it? Was it 2 years?
Yeah, probably on and off a bit more than that, yeah.
We've jumped slightly, haven't we?
Oh, no, this is what happens on the podcast. I want to talk about
jumping
Africa.
around.
Yeah,
is this stuff any good?
Get one down here. Get a gorilla down here.
I'll try one of these.
Is it gorilla or gorilla? It's not gorilla, it's gorilla. Gorilla. OMG Racing sponsor.
AMOR or AMOR?
There you are. By the way, speaking of jumping round, I must say thank you so much, because you've driven down from, is it hometown Falkirk? Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah.
You've driven down from there, so God love you, mate. Thank you so much. So
that's all right, mate.
What a man.
I've been ducking you for long enough. I kind of had to commit this time, I promised.
I think I caught him at a weak moment when I handed over my phone call. Put your number in there, and I could see the regret in his face going,
TT, I was like, shit, I've got to do this now.
Brilliant. But no, I tell you what, I want to talk about, let's go back to the family a little bit. What's the age gap between you and your brothers?
I've got a sister as well. I'm the oldest.
Bloody hell. Yeah. No TV at home, like?
Not for a period, but it sounds.
I'm not even going to get involved now. But yeah, I'm the oldest. Then Dennis, the one with all the money, he's 2 years younger than me. Then my sister's 2 years younger than her, and then my youngest brother 2 years after that. So there's an 8-year spread between all of us.
Bloody
or 6 years.
I was about to ask like you could take the question pretty wrong here, but what are your sisters like? Are they competitive as well as you? Are you all
sister,
competitive? Yeah, are you
yeah,
all?
my sister was. I don't know if you guys would ever remember a thing called Super Champs. It was, yeah, probably before your time, but there used to be, it was Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, and it was proper televised like thing, and they used to race motocross, like buggies, dune buggies,
I think I've seen YouTube videos of this.
It was, yeah, I mean, it was
Right.
full on. I mean, but when was I been doing that? I was 15, I think. Yeah, it's a long time ago. Fucking real long time ago. But yeah, my sister ended up like, yeah, going the wrong way in a hovercraft and T-boned, or somebody T-boned her, and they breaking her arm. It was fucking chaos, man. But yeah, no, it's, yeah, to answer your question, you know,
So-
whole family's pretty competitive, yeah.
Did you how did you grow up? Did you grow up on a farm or anything like that? I'm trying to think.
Almost.
Yeah, just like
We actually ended up living what's now an industrial estate, but when we moved there, I think it was 1980. Yeah, it would have been 1980. I mean, I was 8, and it was just been sold to the Stirling Council, and it was an ex-MOD base.
Right.
And there used to be a big torpedo factory there, and it was fucking amazing growing up there. Like,
Really?
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, when we first moved there, I mean, I think it was only maybe 3 businesses on the entire estate, and I mean, I don't know, the estate was, well, to drive to the bottom, it was maybe, to drive around a minute, probably 2 and a bit miles.
Bloody hell.
Oh, but I mean, it was just all these, you can imagine, like, all these bunkers, just in fields with bunkers everywhere, and where they used to keep all the munitions and everything else. And like when we grew up there, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to go too far. Like, but I mean,
You had a lot of fun.
That's weird.
That's
I mean, I was
every kid's
driving when I was fucking 8 years old. I mean, I've actually got a picture of me, and the house that we ended up living in was the Admiral's house, but it was pretty. But it was fucked. I mean, we had 3. Don't get me wrong, it was 3 stories.
Hold on. It's an admiral's house. It doesn't matter what the condition is. It's an admiral's
It's
house.
actually called Throsk House, but we lived in a caravan for, I don't know, 2.5 years, maybe 3 years, rebuilding the place. I've got a picture of me actually inside the living room and driving the ICB.
That's class.
Yeah, I would have been 10.5 maybe.
Bloody hell.
So at what point? So was your dad into bikes then?
No, but he was a petrol head though.
Right, but which petrol head was the biggest?
He was
driver?
actually, my father originally was a metalworking woodwork teacher in Harrogate, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's a Yorkshireman.
Your father's a Yorkshireman?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Let's not go there. I don't know how he met my mother. I've got no fucking clue how that happened. But yeah, because I mean, my mother's from 5 minutes down the road from where we live now. But anyway, he used to run like a go-kart school.
Right.
Because back then you could, I mean, just my dad was fucking nuts. I mean, I could tell you some stories, but I mean, he'd probably end up get put in jail for like child abuse or whatever. I know, like, let's say, I mean, like, he used to tour us around the estate, like, if there was like this much fucking snow had fallen, he'd just get the car, hook 3 of us up on sledges, with, like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet of, like, cable, and just drive around the estate. But I mean, and I mean, it got to the point where there wasn't enough snow, and it was just like buffing right through the bottom of the sledge and screaming at him, stop that, just keep going in, and then be like, oh, there's one missing. Honestly,
This is the time before political correctness and insurance.
Way before there was anything PC going on. Like,
Wait, how many kids have you got?
2.
You've got 2 kids,
Yeah.
both sons, is that right?
No, a son who's 12 and a daughter who will be 10 in November.
Do you wish they had an upbringing like that, though?
No.
Really?
No.
Right?
How the fuck we all survived that? Seriously. I mean, when I say it was, but don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have changed just like 1 minute of it. But
No.
I mean, eventually, well, my dad, they had their own business and everything else, so and we had motorbikes, and The only time my dad really got really sad with me was we had this Massey Ferguson tractor, which had a forks in the back of it, forklift. Anyway, my mum and dad had buggered off, and how old had I been? Maybe 13 or 14 or whatever. And I had myself and my next brother, Dennis, in the tractor with me, and I went and picked up one of the, those big bells.
Yeah.
And I picked up one of them, and I figured out how to, and you can steer it with your feet, obviously, with the brakes. And I'm coming up this hill, and Dennis is like standing up out, like, to see where we're going. He's going right a bit, left it. And fucking my mum and dad came back, and they just saw me wheeling the tractor up over the top of this fucking hill. Larry went mad. I need that for work, you're gonna fucking kill it. I was like, yeah, I was banned from the tractor for a while. Yeah, no, but we had some fucking amazing times growing up. Like,
It sounds
it was, I mean, but we had a motocross track out.
You could ride bikes at home and
that's all I used to. I mean, I didn't really go to school. I mean, after I was 14, I was just like, fucking school's not for me.
And your parents worked in a school, like...
No. My
Pre-meeting
father,
you,
this was way long.
Yeah,
my dad had been
yeah.
a school teacher for fucking 20 years before that.
Yeah,
Well,
no, just mad that you left school, I'm thinking, like...
I wanted nothing to do with
Fair
school,
enough.
and school wanted nothing to do with me.
Fair enough.
I just, as far as I was concerned, it was time that I was not getting on my bike. So,
Yeah.
I think that's not quite a common, maybe not now, but certainly like a few years before us starting racing, if you know what I mean. That was probably a common thing, I think, that a lot of people find racing, find our type of sport through like almost just like sticking two fingers up to a bit of authority, isn't it? Like it's quite a common thing, isn't it?
I've never been able to conform just from day dot. I mean, even my grandfather said to my mum one day, you should have called him Damien. I wasn't saying that about your grandson. That's just wrong, eh? But yeah, and he was a very religious man as well, so yeah.
There we are.
But yeah, it was one of them. But yeah, I mean, growing up, we just had like an open door policy. I mean, once we got involved in motocross and stuff, like even in the later years when I was in my teens or even my 20s, like my mates used to go down there and bring their bikes down and stay when I wasn't even there. But I mean, that's just how the whole
That's nice.
motocross community worked back then. And
Yeah.
I've stayed all over the world, all over the world, just with people I've never met before that give you bikes, put you up, just fucking awesome. And that was my true love. I mean, like motocross, just dirt bikes has always been, I love it.
So you've gone through, you've become Scottish champion, you've got on a plane full of your mum's sleeping tablets with your, was it the one brother? Your younger brother?
No, my youngest one, the next one down, Dennis.
Right, it was you and your Dennis on this flight.
Yeah.
You've woke up, you've seen Captain Pugwash, who runs the series. So I must ask, it's 19, so you've gone from an airfield where like growing up on an airfield in Scotland. You know what I mean? You've done the adventures, you left school,
Yeah, MOD, yeah.
and then you've ended up in Zimbabwe.
Oh,
Africa.
It was just, when I say it was surreal, I mean, it's just, but again, it's just, you look into some things in life and that's what happened. And I mean, it was, the next 10 years after that, like on and off, was just an unbelievable adventure.
You spent 10 years in
On and off, yeah. Different places between Zimbabwe. I spent probably nearly a year or 18 months in South Africa, mainly Johannesburg. I spent 3.5 years in a place called Cahora Bassa in Mozambique, and helped somebody start a business, which was just, we need about 3 podcasts just to go through that.
We've got time, don't worry. Let's go for it. We'll never get you again, Keith. It was hard enough to get you here the first time, so let's just keep going.
No, you might just need to come to me next time.
We will.
It just was, I mean, when I first went into Mozambique with my girlfriend at the time, uncle, he's like, come with, blah, blah, and my dad's an engineer, they taught me how to weld, and I'm like, yeah. And it was to start a Capenta fishing business. Now, Capenta's like the stable diet of the locals. It's like a freshwater sardine.
Right.
Just many little tiny like sardines, and they're just sun dried. And anyway, when we first went there, how old would I have been? I think I'd have been 23, I think. The Civil War had just finished. There'd been a civil war in Mozambique for, I think it was either 16 or 18 years.
Bloody hell.
Well, the only other things that was on the road when I first went up there was donkey-drawn carts in UN United Nations. That was it. Fuck all else. Nada. I mean, we never saw another vehicle on the road for, I don't know how long, maybe 6-9 months when we first started going up there. It was,
That's mad.
but I mean, talk about an adventure. It was
Yeah.
fucking unbelievable. I mean, we first got up to the lake and stuff, and we had nothing. And I mean, like literally nothing. It was just like some abandoned buildings on top of a, I don't know, maybe 200 or 300 feet up from, which was a kind of basin which we used as a base, and it was, am I killing the table here?
That's all right. Don't worry about the
'cause I'm
table. Keep
fucking
going.
going that way.
It's all good, man. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was surreal because, I mean, we took a little bass glider, which is like an 18-foot boat with like a 40 horse Yamaha motor or something on the back of it, and it was like, yeah, well, it's just, and there was fucking nobody else there. Anyway, we were cruising about one day, and we come into this bay, and there's all these like kids, or as the locals call them, piccaninnies, which are
Right.
young, well, yeah,
locals.
yeah, locals, just kids, indigenous, and they're in these dugouts. And a dugout's basically, as it sounds, it's just a tree that's been dug out, and I mean, they sit about this much out of the water. So we come in this speedboat, and next minute these kids are just like fucking diving over. I'm like, what's happening there? And he's like, well, one, they've never seen a speedboat before, and two, they've never seen a white person before.
And he's Scottish.
Well, yeah, they never got that close.
He was like,
Yeah, but it was just that kind of shit. I mean, and we ended up having to do all sorts because of the red tape up there. I mean, we ended up running different smuggling routes to get stuff in. Oh, yeah, as I say, we could go on forever about this.
That's class.
Oh no, it was unbelievable. The only
but
bad
this is
thing
that
was,
fishing of the
Yeah,
local
yeah.
delicacy, basically.
well, it's just a stable diet. I mean, because obviously they've got fuck all. I mean, they've got, it's
Dried fish in the
It's-
sun.
eat what you kill, sort of thing.
Well, when we got there was no wildlife left at all.
Right.
Nada. So, well, it's been 18 or 16 year civil war there, and they just shot, killed,
Everything.
fucked everything, yeah.
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 So when we got, I mean, there was nothing. But I mean, there was plenty of fish in the lake.
Right.
Yeah, which they have these things called tiger fish up there, which are fucking amazing to catch. Like, remember when we went there was nobody on the lake, and the place was just full of them. I mean, it's phenomenal fishing if you're into fishing, like. But yeah, I mean, it's just I ended up here smuggling my motocross bike in there actually.
You smuggled it.
Oh no, but I mean, everything's bribery and corruption in Africa. Everything. So
Right.
we just used to go through like a different border post called Mukambura, and I used to buy these fake watches. And they'd be like, like, that's for you, and they'd be like, stamp, on you go. Never even used to check nothing.
I think it's still quite like that, and not as bad it won't be,
Oh
but
no, it is.
I think
It's
there's still...
never going to change. Like.
So you say you had your motocross. So were you actually still racing at this point then?
No. Well, I did race a bit, and then I'd canned it, but I still had my motocross bike, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's take it up to the lake," and just it was awesome.
Live the
like.
dream by the sounds of it. Just
Well,
sounds...
What was
Does
really
sound
good
mega that,
and
doesn't it?
scary was the guy who I was with. Actually, he was actually a commercial pilot to trade for Air Zimbabwe. I mean, he was proper fucking pilot, but the guy thought he had like eagle's bloody. Fucking, we used to go up there in these small planes, these Cherokee 6s and stuff. Fucking hell, man.
I can see where your fear of flying's come from. Like, you know, like
There's not enough sleeping tablets in the world.
that's why mum's run out. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you how bad it was. Like we had to go up to like a place called Songo, which was up on the dam, and then we had to go Byra, which was somewhere else, and for these meetings and stuff. And single engine airplanes, you're not allowed to take off after 6 or 7 o'clock or whatever it is, because once it gets dark, if something goes wrong with it, well, you're fucked. I mean, that's it. So anyway, we go up to end up in Byra, and we're real late. Bribe the folk, and Ashley said to me, "Go and get some beer." I went, right. So I went and got a crate or a case of Carlin Black Label, I think it was, 24 beers. They lit the whole airstrip and everything up for us, but it was dark when we took off. Oh, fuck it. And it's like, I don't know, 2.5-3 hours maybe back to Harare. So we're flying back to Harare, Maine. So we got up and fucking cracked the beer and blah, blah, blah. Fucking, yeah, I smoked 5, fucking great. But I'm like, what do you do with the bottles and that? It's like, just fucking toss them out the window. Sound. And then it's like, yeah, blah, blah. It's like, I've drank too many beers. Like, he said, well, you're just getting your peanut bottles out the window, eh? I was like, you're the boss. And he's like, you want a shot of flying and stuff? Mega. Still, like, I'll fucking do this. I've been doing that negative G thing, so you know, go over it, and then you're like all weightless and stuff. I'm watching these, so we're having a competition to see who could just hover the beer off the top of the like instrument cluster. And I was like, but then we're getting more and more drunk here. Fucking anyway, this hilarious. He's like fucking doing all sorts. It's pitch black, by the way. I mean, pitch black. And then he's like, but his party trick was watch this, sat off like a beer on there. And I was like, whoa, barrel roll. And the thing just never moved, obviously, because the centrifugal force just sticks it there. And I'm like, I've got to beat this. I'm like oh, fucked up the instruments, man. Next minute, one of the gyros stopped working and stuff. And I'm like, is that bad? He's like, well, we kind of need it, like. I'm like, fuck. But anyway, bang, 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 got working again. So we've been probably flying for about, I don't know, an hour, 20 minutes. No, a bit more than that. Maybe an hour and 40 minutes. And I said to him, I said, what happens if, like, the engine? He says, well, I mean, 11,500 feet, the mountains will go over and stuff. He said, we're fucked. I'm like, all right, another beer. Like, yeah. And then, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes later, but my heart just sank, eh? I'm just like, we're fucked. We're dead, eh? And I just like, he just went pure white, and I just turned and looked at him, like, and he looked back at me, and I'll never forget looking, he's like, fucking good. It's got tanks on the wingtip, you know.
Oh, right on the ends,
so, but you've got to pump them back in the middle tank for it to go. Cool as you fucking like, just you're like, oh. Fuck. And then I'm sitting, I'm still in fucking shock, thinking we're gonna die, and it's like again. Done it to me twice. Fucking twice.
In the same night?
The same flight, like fucking twice. Oh, but see, by the time we got to Harare, Maine, oh, we were fucking like hammered. And I mean, I gave customs, there was like 6 beers left. I handed the customs guy out here, you could take these, piss or whatnot. And the immigration officer wasn't there. And actually, who has got 0 patience. And yeah, anyway. He's like, right, we'll leave our passports with the guy for customs, and then we'll come back in the morning. Oh yeah, fuck, I nearly got deported there, and it was a full on, we came back, you entered the country illegally, and they were like going to put Ashley in jail, and then fucking they were going to deport me, and oh, it was a huge hoo-ha. But luckily, like, my girlfriend's old man, loaded, heavy connected, lawyers, and we fucking got it all sorted out, and dude, I was like, that's me, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I'm getting shipped out of here, like, I'm done.
So how many years were you over there for? In total, about 10 years.
About 10 years, yeah.
And then, and when did? So you've come back, I'm assuming, to Scotland at some point.
I got malaria.
Are you kidding?
No, I got malaria, and it turned out to be tick bite fever. And actually, I thought it had been sorted out when I was in hospital in Harare, but then I came back. I was there for a bit, and I was yeah. I mean, I lost 1.5 stone in like a week.
Bloody hell.
I know,
yeah, not well.
That malaria is not fun, like, at all. Good for weight loss, but other than that, it's not fun.
Good for bike racing at that specific time, but
well, it's just the recovery period. I mean, even when I was whatever age I was, my mid-20s, yeah, I mean, it took me months before.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's a proper serious.
Oh, it's no joke, is it?
Malaria's, I think, the biggest killer in Africa still to this day. I mean, it's
so you got diagnosed out there, and then like at home.
I got treated for it and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I flew back home to my mate Marcus, who's STS Tyres.
Yes, you were saying that.
Yeah. Marcus he worked at L Street Aerodrome in North London, and I said to him, right, I'm coming back and stuff, and he's like, right, blah blah blah. I said, I'll pick you up from Heathrow, and he picked me up, and I was like, I just felt fucking terrible, man, and the bottom of my legs were starting to get really sore, and I'm like, and I had like a rash, but it was just above my ankles, and I'm like, anyway, we go back to the aerodrome, and I don't know, he was doing all the groundwork and stuff, and we're like cutting around in a dump truck, and I'm like, my legs are getting sore, and I pulled my jeans up, and the rash had went up to like my knees, and I was like, dude, I don't feel well, like, and he's like, I said, I think I better go and see a doctor, and he's like, I've not got a doctor. I says, well, we need to do something. And he's like, you're that bad? I went, and he knows me. I mean, I don't go to the hospital unless it's an ambulance.
No.
I just don't go.
No.
And but I mean, I was getting worried, and I'm like, yeah, getting weaker and weaker. So we went to some surgery somewhere, and Marcus went to speak to the front desk, and then the doctor came out, took one look at me, and went, you need to take him straight to A&E such and such hospital for infectious disease. So we go in, get wheeled in, blah blah blah. Next minute we're in a room and stuff, and where do you come from? I'm like, Africa. Aye, that was
red flag straight up.
Quarantined, eh?
Really?
Oh yeah, real bad. And then so they said to Marcus, they're like, right, you need to stay, and he ran out of the hospital. He went, I can't, I'll lose my job. And he ran away through the hospital and fucking gone, eh?
Class.
Next one, I was, just to put me on a quinine drip for I don't know how long. I mean, it was fucking horrendous, man. Hallucinating, and just, I wanted to die. I actually got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'd rather be dead than...
Really?
Go through this, yeah.
Holy fuck.
That was real bad.
So what year would that have been?
God, I remember that. When I come back. What year would that have been? The first time, probably 96, 97.
So, right, to put that in context, you wouldn't even have like a mobile phone to ring you, like to ring home or anything like that.
No,
that's what I mean. It's so you're flown back in. You know what I mean? What were your family thinking at this point, or they hadn't heard from you, or you know, you're on a trip
that was
in
part of
London.
the course for me. I mean, I just used to go missing in action for months and months and months at a time anyway, and not contact anybody. I was just on my own mission in life.
That's mint.
But it was, I mean, that wasn't enjoyable. It took me a long time to go over that.
So you went over to Africa to go racing bikes. You know, that came, and then you went on this hellish adventure. You know, you come back with tropical disease. You did the trip right. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've done many things, but that was one of them, yeah.
That is class. So you're 20, you were saying 23 at this point when you were on the drip in hospital, is that right?
No, 23, I went over 24. I'd probably been 25 when I came back with malaria. So I came back the first time.
25?
Yeah, 25, yeah.
You've got yourself better. What's the next stage? You know, did you just go back to work? Did you think, just happy getting a job, or did you have,
what did I do after that?
Yeah.
I went to, my old man was ended up being a quarry manager in Northern Ireland.
So you didn't even go back to Scotland, you literally, I'm just going to keep going.
I was there, and I had it was like, you know, what you blah, 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 I had nothing to do, and my dad's like, well, come over, and I ended up driving dump trucks and loading shovels, and I got so much trouble for drifting a 40-ton dump truck down in the face, man. And the gaffer saw me come. I had a thing in a fucking 8-wheel drift, and Patsy's sitting there. He went fucking nuts, man. But anyway, it was good. It was good. It was an adventure.
I must ask, right? I know it's a bit of a personal note, but what happened with the multi-millionaire girlfriend? Did you just get bored and just go, I've had enough?
She didn't want malaria?
She didn't want malaria?
No, it's not sexually transmitted, trust me. You've got to get bitten by a mosquito. She might have got other things, but she wouldn't have got malaria.
So you come back, you've got better, you've gone to Northern Ireland, and I'm assuming this is where there's some sort of the love for motorcycles is there, but now some bikes have got to come into it.
So you didn't even have a bike license at this point, because you kind of opened this up with, I went and got a bike license, and then you got but
it was 2000 when I actually went, and I just decided to go and sit my test, and went and bought an R1.
But before we go down the R1 route, I must ask, so you've gone to Ireland, you've done the dump truck, so let's talk about the next stage of that. I actually want to go through, this is your life, man.
What I do after that, I actually ended up, my mum was living in North Berwick, and...
All right, aye.
You know who Billy Mackenzie is?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Not personally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that was a bit of a fangirl moment.
I've known
That was
Billy since he was kind of 13, 14, but
right?
I ended up going out with the Duke of Hamilton's daughter, Lady Eleanor Douglas Hamilton, for
You must have some chart. Like, you know what I mean? I love it.
I don't know, like a few years anyway. But her youngest brother, Lord John Douglas Hamilton, he actually runs the Scottish Championship with my brother now. But
Right.
they lived on Archerfield Estate, just outside North Berwick, and you're just fucking proper, like pad and access to a bulldozer. So I mean, we had like a full-blown Grand Prix circuit, a supercross track and a flat track, and this he went into so much trouble right enough because we just went off with a bulldozer one day and started carving different trees to me. The estate came along and saw what he'd done anyway, Matt. You know, they were not best pleased. But I know it was epic, and that's when I first kind of met Billy, and I ended up getting back on the motocross bike. It must have been like 98. It was 98. Yeah, and then
just fell back in love with motocross and just started.
And like Stuart Flocker, and we met so many like international people just used to come because I mean it was like a hub.
Yeah.
But I mean it was on our doorstep, so I mean we were down there pretty much every single day. Like
Motorsport doesn't have that now.
No,
Does it? Not like in which is damn unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like,
Not in this country anyway, but
nah, definitely not in this country. Maybe.
yeah, I mean that was like that kind of just Johnny's place. I mean Archerfield Estate. I mean it's now a fucking golf course. I mean it sold for fucking millions and millions and millions. But I mean for quite a few years it was just
your training ground.
Hobby. I mean we just used to. It was unbelievable. I mean we had access to everything, and it was just it wasn't even what we're going to do today. It was like we'll see at the motocross. But I mean there was a whole group of us. I mean, we ended up training together. We used to play five-a-side football 3 or 4 times a week, just training. I mean it was epic.
Yeah.
Just do you know what I mean? We used to go to Edinburgh and go, like occasionally go out, but we were just together all the time, and it was good times, like really good.
That's absolutely that is the
Sounds
dream,
like a
that
dream,
isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean to say that we were fortunate just with the group of people that came together, just how it all happened. Then I actually ended up going car racing. I raced cars for a wee.
So before bikes, cars.
You do motocross?
Bikes,
Yeah, after motocross.
Yeah, I ended up just racing the Ford Fiesta XR2 Challenger, and we built a car and then just went down a few races. I mean, I've raced go-karts, I've raced all sorts. Anything with an engine, I'll race it. Like.
Yeah, but the car scene, let's talk about that a little then.
Yeah, I'm full of pretentious pricks. Yeah, just...
Oh, that's class.
It is so.
But I mean, they're so different to like the motorcycle fraternity because one, they all come from money.
Yes.
And two, they've just got a distinct lack of respect for anybody that's not
A car driver.
Exactly. But don't get me wrong, I mean, I've got quite a few friends that are racing car drivers, and I mean, their sounds a pound, but across the board as a whole,
Yeah.
wankers.
Amen to that. So you've done the car scene. How long were you in the car scene for?
No, it was
Just doing the odd...
Yeah, just like I done, I don't know.
A few rounds or something.
Races, yeah, just, it was one of them, and then I just decided not to go.
So was that around, was that tarmac racing in the car? All right, so at this point have you done a tarmac track day on a motorcycle at this point?
I don't think track day is a thing then? For bikes?
Cars, yes, but not bikes.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't into bikes. I used to think that road races were just a bunch of gay sex leather queens, and honestly,
That's class.
There's the title of the pod, Grace. Straight in there. I love it.
Oh, don't I'll be getting hate.
Well, no. But the thing is, you change your... Well, you had to change your heart. But anyway, it
was one of them. It's just I'd had no interest in going bike racing.
Yeah.
There's actually a friend of mine who's a real good motocrosser, Scottish champion as well, a guy called Richard Devine.
Now that's a name, isn't it?
Well, Devine.
Just Devine?
But Devine Motorcycles in Glasgow, that's his uncle, that owns defined.
Josh is going to start writing these down for work. You know, there's a defined motorcycles there. I'll be going up there next. Happy days.
But Richard, he actually went from motocross to road racing. But I mean, he went in there like when Jim Moody and all the who's who in the zoo from Scotland, when Scotland had a lot of top talented road racers. Duffus and that whole squad. But I mean, he done all right and stuff. But I mean, he probably started at the worst possible time he could have started with the competition. But I mean, I was never interested in it. It just never appealed to me. But the reason I actually went and ended up sitting my test was because a friend of mine had I think it was a ZX9R.
Right.
And he's like, I'll go for a run. There's a set of leathers. I'm like, yeah, all right. I'll go and have a go at this. He got right sad with me because I could feel anything, man. I was feeling this thing about the place. Got mental. But anyway, I was like, I can actually do this. Like, when I went on a couple of runs with it, and then I was going faster than everybody else, and I was like, so anyway, I was like, I'll go and sat my test. And after starting my test to direct access, I went and got an R1 on hire purchase.
Straight out the bat.
Well, yeah, that was my first bike, my first road bike. But yeah, I probably, every single time we went out, somebody crashed.
Really?
Yeah.
How big was your group?
It started off really big.
It started off massive.
7 or 8 of us, maybe 9 of us.
Bloody hell. Aye.
I mean, I was,
It was getting out of hand very quickly.
But I mean, it was because of me. I mean, I was just used to ride like the whole place was, the road was just a racetrack. Even though I'd never been on a racetrack yet, but I mean, I wasn't scared of like the things, jump off the ground or at whatever speed, 150 plus mile an hour. I mean, I loved it. But I mean, people just try to keep up with me and end up like one guy went to a caravan. It was all bad, like, and the straw that broke the camel's back was we were out somewhere and one of the guys had a bad accident and I think my tyres were like bald or whatever. I think I'd only taxed this thing for 6 months and taxes ran it, something like that, like just. And the boys are like, you better get out of here before the cops come. I'm like, yeah. I'm going back home and it was this guy called Wallace, Big Wallace, literally doing like, I don't know, 40 mile an hour down this kind of country back road. I wasn't even paying attention. Bright sunny day. Come around this left-hander and there was horse shit in the road. I lost the front and I was like, I'm doing like 40 mile an hour. But thankfully then the back wheel hit it. And so hit the shit and then it flicked me up and I'll never forget, it was like this young girl in a Ford Fiesta and her eyes looked about that big. I mean, because she was literally like
going
there.
At you.
But I mean, she was on the brakes and I was like literally landed and then just was looking at her and she just missed me and I was like, no, I'm done.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, that's me, I'm fucking over it. I said, I'm not going back into a road bike again. But I bought it in a hire purchase.
Ah, right, so it's still on the books, you still had to pay it.
There's nothing I could do. I mean, I was still paying for the bike and I was sitting in the shed doing... And anyway, this guy Wallace then was like, oh, I want to start racing, you start racing with me. I was like, no chance. I'm not interested, but he badgered the life out of me for months. And I mean months. And it was just... And he was a friend of the family and, I mean, he had a lot of hardship in his life and everything else. And Mum's like, just... I'm like, all right then. And myself and Marcus, my mate from STS, he had a P100 pickup at the time. So we put an exhaust on the bike, got a fiberglass fairing from somewhere, put a set of brake pads in it, I think, and went up to Knockhill. No tyre warmers, nada.
Straight in.
Yeah, and it was like a kind of... pre-whatever it was season kind of track day and stuff and just literally wheeled this thing off the back and Marcus was with a stopwatch and I'm just going round. When I came back I said, this time I get on, he's like, well, you're going as fast as any of these fuckers, like. I was like, what? He said, I'm serious. He's like, you're just... And then, got my licence and started racing and the guy that begged me to start racing Wallace didn't even start racing.
Never.
Fucking sweet. Honestly,
Because you've gone that quick, you're sickening them.
no, but he didn't even make an attempt.
Right?
He just once you started, he was over it, sort of
Oh,
thing.
that was it. It was just like, all right, I said,
I've done my bit, I'm off.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, no, that was the kind of start of it, and then we went to knock hell for the first round, but there was no qualifying back then.
What? Club racing, or
Yeah,
did you just...
well, it was a Scottish Championship, the biggest.
Right.
1000cc class was the biggest class up there. I mean, that was,
Yeah.
So you straight in racing.
I was straight in with the orange,
Orange bib,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
warmers, no nothing.
But no, by the time we went racing,
I bet you did.
Yeah, no, we had. But I mean, as I say, there was no qualifying at the time, and I think you pretty much started from your championship position from the year before.
Yes.
So it was 10 lap races, and I think I started. It was either 27th or 28th. And the first race I finished 8th. The second one I finished 7th, and then back up the next round, and I got 2 third places, and then we went to East Fortune for the next round, which at the time was like a motocross track that had been tarred. I mean, it was
Right in your element.
proper whooped out. Like, I mean, bikes just getting crossed up. And over the weekend, I won all 3 races, yeah, so I was affectionately known as, like, who's the cunt with orange bib? Because nobody had a clue who I was.
That's class. That is class. But then it just became like everything else in your life at that point, going, right, I want to keep going, I want to keep
Well,
going.
yeah, I mean, then it started enjoying it. I mean, I would have won the Scottish Championship in my first season, but I mean, the powers that be did not want some cunt with an orange bib on.
Class.
Winning.
Fuck that, we didn't want that.
No, I mean, they honestly stopped me going out in one race. I mean, my main competitor, who was just in front of me, and the temperature up at Knock Hill was like, keep on the tyres warm as long as you could, because they wouldn't let him in the grid. And I was sitting waiting on him to go. And then he went, and I followed him to go through the gate for Park Fermi, and they just fucking shut the gate right in front of me, and they wouldn't let me in.
Never.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you remember, innit?
I'll tell you what I remember is after I'd signed for Honda, these same people and everyone else all of a sudden are asking me to come and dish out fucking trophies, and now, yeah, I'm the best thing since fucking sliced bread, eh? Wankers.
So your first year in racing in Scotland, and then what was your next? What was your next step after that? Where did you go?
I know. After that, I mean, I think I'd done like 2 races in 2002, and then, then I was like, nah. And then I went and got my mate Marcus again. Well, got him fired.
He's quite an influence, it's Marcus, isn't
No,
he?
it's not actually. I was the bad influence because I got him fired. I was like, come on, let's go back to Africa. So we went back to Africa again.
All right.
Yeah, so I was there for 2002, 3.
Why go back to Africa? What was it? Why did you want to go back? You got
I just loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good when you can ride your motocross bike into the city centre, like say, fucking Newcastle. You imagine riding your motocross bike and wheeling up and down like the main drag, and I'm talking it's a proper city.
You sound like you're describing Newcastle at the minute.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we weren't like mugging grannies.
Yeah.
But we would. It was
fine,
it
like
was unbelievable, man. And I was like, we need to go back in it. But it started deteriorating. I mean, from when we first went over in '91 and stuff, I mean, it started going downhill and getting worse and worse. But I mean, even so, I mean, I still loved it. I mean, it's lawless.
Class.
It's just, yeah, but I mean, it actually eventually got to the point that I still actually think I might still own it, a gold claim, a place called Chennai, like a gold mine.
You own a gold mine?
Oh, well, it's not like a fucking big gold mine.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. You can't downplay.
It's not gold, Rush.
I'm sorry. You cannot downplay. I think I own it, mate.
We ended up getting into like, yeah, so we were like, you had a gold mine because in order to like, yeah, have gold, blah, blah, blah. We ended up like buying and selling gold, and that was, we needed that to cover the tracks for what we were doing, kind of thing.
Yes, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but I got to a stage where, I mean, I had a 40 caliber Glock under my pillow. I had a 357 Magnum on my bedside table and a semi-automatic shotgun in a cupboard because I was just waiting on somebody coming through the door. Yeah, and that's why I eventually left. I was making loads of money and stuff. I done this in Skyline, everything. I just abandoned ship one day, woke up in the morning and just said to my business partner, I said, I'm done, I'm off. I said, what about this? I said, fucking keep a lot of it. See you later. And just walked away with nada. Just left everyone. Because I was like, I can't.
What, like the fear of it?
I just knew I was either going to kill myself or somebody was going to kill me.
Yeah.
Because that was the top and bottom of it. I mean, the lifestyle was just fucking mental. I mean, chartering private planes to go to, like, the MotoGP when Rossi first won. I mean, I was at that, chartered a private plane to go down there. That's another story altogether.
What's your title of your book going to be?
I've already had John Hogan harassing me about this, and too many people would go to jail or get divorced.
I'll buy a copy right now.
I would need to actually move to like out of Mongolia or somewhere. Yeah, I couldn't.
Would you do it with John? Would you let him do it?
Well, he's been harassing me. Well, I mean, it's.
Oh no, well, I tell you what, we'll save you the hassle. We'll just keep recording. We'll meet here next Wednesday night outside the Rouse House, and we'll just do it for you, son.
You don't get to know the bad stuff.
We're going to try and get John on the podcast. So we'll just get him to start spilling all the bad stuff.
Actually put a thing out on social media somewhere, blah blah. I've got a thing on my phone somewhere. I think it is. They put about the three. Untold stories that he would blah 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 blah, and there was.
Was this an endurance race in Doha?
Oh, I don't. That's 3 years terrified.
I do know a bit of a story about that.
That was fun.
Can we?
No, I definitely can't say that one.
Ah, bollocks! All right,
John, if you're listening, because I know you will be, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we had.
He's rolling back through the memories. We
had some really fun times out in.
Class.
Qatar. It was mega.
But all joking aside, I know you're getting pests and stuff, but would you like?
Does it?
Mate, this sounds
Too
absolutely.
many people would just be in trouble.
Yeah, but you could do like what John Hopkins did in his book, and he takes the names out, but you know who they are.
Everybody would know exactly who it is, and that's why I couldn't go into.
Why don't you do one on release on your death or something like that? You know what I mean?
John also said that. He's
the day you die, there you go.
But that's just nasty.
That's brilliant.
Nasty,
yeah. Yeah, you'd be hated.
I tell you, I don't think anyone listening to this actually wants to hear about the motorcycles anymore. Yeah. Is the best bit. No, so
you literally just walked away from you'd gone back and just walked away from that.
And I just came back to the UK in 2004, and then a friend of mine, Derek McConaughey, said, in fact, it was mid 2004 because we went to watch the Northwest 200. And Derek turned around and said, it's like, I think you'd be good at this, like. And I'm like, what? I think you'd be good at this road racing shit. I'm like, dude, I said, I'm not getting myself, like, just, in debt and the whole thing. And he's like, well, what about if I can get you a sponsor? I mean, you give me a sponsor. I said, all right. And then that was kind of that. And I ended up getting me a sponsor, and then...
Do you remember that sponsor?
Yeah, the guy's called Eric Perry. He actually now runs bike tours in the Himalayas.
Right.
Yeah, mental.
So you were just on the sidelines, drinking beer, having a good time, watching the Northwest with your mates, and it was literally just like...
And then, 2005, we ended up, I won the Scottish Championship, and then I'd done my first Northwest 200.
That was your first road race?
Yeah, 2000, that was my first road race. I'd never done it.
What year, so 2005? Was that pre-chicanes or?
Yeah. Mather's Cross was my best corner.
Flat.
That's where I used to make all my time up here.
Can we... Okay, let's talk about who was on that grid at that point, 2005.
Oh,
Bruce, John.
Yeah, Bruce, John, obviously Farquhar.
Yeah. And was this your first dealing with Farquhar at this point?
Oh yeah, but I mean, I didn't really know who anybody was. But
no, that's the interesting thing about it.
I mean, there was just loads of big names, top names at the time, and I think I only had one bike. I only had the Stalker,
which would have been that wasn't the R1 from the shed.
No, it was a K5 Suzuki.
Right.
So I ended up. I can't remember exactly how I going, but I done all right. But. Yeah,
to the point.
I'd done all right, and then 2006.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to be more detailed. You're too humble to actually go, I did all right. Can someone pull up a fact and a figure here? Because where did seriously, your first...
I don't know. No, I honestly can't remember, but I mean...
Top 10? Top 20? Come on.
I must have done, well, I don't know, I've done all right because...
Top 10.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean,
No. It's no, because
I'm not really honestly not sure because well, there'd only been one Superstock race, and obviously
because the grids are massive, and that hasn't really changed. If you know what I mean, like the size of the grids, you're talking like 50, 60 competitors. But that's what I mean about turning up your first road race and just going down.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, I mean, I think the high speed stuff was just floating my boat. I mean, when I first came went to the Northwest, there was none of these bullshit chicanes in it, like, and I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
But then once I started putting the chicanes in, although I never won a race until I'd actually put a chicane in at Miles Cross.
So you've won Northwests, you've won Ulster Grand Prix as well.
Yeah, I won.
I couldn't imagine going through there with no chicane. Like, I'd imagine it's unbelievable.
That'd be.
Trust me.
I'm not sure I'd have been able to hang on to the fucking
You
thing.
would have.
But I mean, it was like
Hold your
a few
breath.
times I thought I was going to feel like a right few. But I mean, as I say, that's when I used to be able to make so much time up.
Because when you come out of that chicane, it's actually quite positively cambered up, isn't it, the road?
Right. Put that in context, the station.
That was...
Now, bear in mind, you wouldn't have that chicane coming out York, did you?
No, we still went round the
roundabout.
She went round the wrong way, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't as tight, probably not.
So comparing Maffers to station.
Miles was the hold your breath corner. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to... Here we go. Because I knew that's where I used to make most of my time up on the circuit, and it was like... Fastest. I mean, it was the fastest corner on the circuit. It was faster than station. Like,
because to put that in context to a lot of people who have gone and watched the Northwest for the first time and gone and enjoyed it, and everyone's station's like insane.
It's 170 mile an hour corner, but Mallard's was 170 plus.
That's what I mean. It's that.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was definitely a big boys corner. I mean, I used to love it. I was devastated when they changed it.
So you've turned up, you've done the Northwest. What was the next? What was the next race? At this point, you thought, let's keep going. The sponsor obviously was happy.
Yeah, well, as I say, I went and done the Scottish Championship and stuff, and I don't know what else. I ended up racing club meetings, I think. Down south is like, I'm trying to think. The first time I raced Hutchie. I think it was Alton Park, but I can't remember if it was 2001 or 2005. In fact, it might have been 2001. The first time I went down there. And I won 3 races and I beat Hutchie by thousandths of a second in the last one, and he never really spoke to me since.
Class. Absolutely class. So to be blunt, you're actually a pure roads man. You didn't come from a BSB background, you know what I mean? You went like, hell of a story, never mind your BSB background.
Better club racing then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when did I first go? Let me think.
Because you have a hell of a BSB career as well, you know what I mean? It's like...
Well, I mean, I only had ever done like BSBs because I could never really... Like, once I started doing racing on the roads, I just struggled to engage. That was kind of fun, but I mean, it wasn't intense enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the intensity of like Miles Cross or whatever. I mean, it gets your attention.
Yes,
you go as much as I cut my teeth at Knockhill. I mean, so you go from
Knockhill to Northwest is a bit of a difference, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, when people I used to race with, one guy, Bruce Bonney and stuff, I used to call him Velcro because he was just...
He's still racing, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's a boy, mate. He's a hell of a boy. BMW man.
Brilliant.
He could pedal a bike, like.
But he just like round Knockhill, he literally would just be stuck to me because he was like, well, if he can go around the corner that fast, blah, if he can break there, blah, blah. And he was just... I don't think he actually ever beat me, but he was stuck to me. Then we went to the Northwest. 2006 maybe, and I think I was quite kind of on the pace, and he tried to go in the back of Anstey, and it all went wrong. Like he went over a roundabout, and but the difference between like how fast I was going and the guys I was racing against in Scotland, it would be like 30 or 40 seconds a lap.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Do you know, but that was a kind of thing. I think that's why road racing kind of floated my boat so much, because it was all about the danger and the high speed corners and if you're committed, you can make a difference. But I mean, I was fucking old when I started racing. I mean, I was what? Well, I was when I went to TT, 35.
Right.
And I mean, first day I went to TT in 2007.
Was that your first TT, 2007? Fucking hell.
So it's not long ago.
No. I was
what-
trying to get the timeline in my head of thinking I think my first memory of you like would have been probably on a HM Plant Honda, maybe a little bit before
That's
that.
2010, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a bit before that.
The most one of the most distinctive lids in the game. Scottish flag, blue, white, and like, mate, you can flick through any magazine at any time. Like you'd be shit for a pub quiz. Who's that rider? Keep him up. You know what I mean? It'd be like, oh, give me a hard
You've
one.
basically gone from debut at the Northwest, hardly any real racing, in 2005 to within 5 years riding for Factory Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was pure luck because
Bollocks.
I think, well, Steve Plater decided to try and smash a lap breaker, I think, on the first night of practice at Northwest and threw it up the road at Black Hill. And then
That was a bad one.
I'd actually signed for the official Yamaha team and was going
Was that AIM?
no, Jimmy Murray, GMF.
Right.
That's who I remember you riding for. That's the livery I remember seeing.
But I didn't actually do a race full of me because we went out pre-season testing and the guy who was going to be my crew chief and everyone else. I mean, I was getting paid 30 grand sign on. Yeah, I mean, it was all good. And we were out staying at Jimmy's house and training out there. I mean, Richard Ray was out there training with me and stuff. But then we went testing in Spain twice, and I just said to Jimmy Money, I said, is he going to be my crew chief and that's that? He's like, yeah. I says, well, I'm not going to waste your time. If I haven't got any confidence in him, there's no point. I said, thanks for everything. I said, and that was us right back to square one. I mean, and I never had anything, there was nothing else. And it was actually my dad that said to me, so what we're going to do? And he's like, you should get one of those BMWs. I went, that's a fucking car, Dad. It's not a motorcycle. And he's like, no, they brought this play with this the best of $1,000 thing. And I'm like, anyway, I ended up, getting something sorted out, and then with Jackson Racing or whatever it was, and then I think I got done about, I don't know, 11 or 12 laps from Bishop's Court or somewhere before the Northwest. And I stuck it on pole, and then I went out and won the first Superstock race. Beat Ryan. Fucking brilliant. You know what? Because everywhere I'd been previously...
Was that BMW's first win around...
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So, yeah...
That's a title, man, considering what BMW are now, if you know what I mean. It's like, fair play, son.
Well, I was actually looking after the top brass of BMW Motorrad, global, over at the TT, and the guy who was in charge of the World Superbike team, Mark Bongers, he was actually looking after me at the TT in 2010. He was a technician.
Bloody hell.
I've got Mark and I go way back. I mean, I've got a great relationship with Marky.
That's class.
But yeah, and it was funny because I was on the grid, I think, for the first Superbike race or the second Superbike race.
Did you ride a stock or in the Superbike race? Or?
Yeah, I only had one bike. I had nothing else. So, I mean, I was just stalker. And I'm sitting on a grid, and Neil Tutsworth had come up and he's like, hey, would you... I'm like, he said, consider maybe riding the HM... And then they started shooting everybody off the grid. I'm like... Yeah, but that was it. So I ended up racing the HM Plant bike at TT.
What, that year?
Yeah, 2010, yeah. Went from Northwest to TT.
Bloody hell.
How did you cope with that? You know, like at the beginning...
So did you ride your stock out at the TT, or did you ride...
Yeah, no, I did ride my
your own stuff?
Yeah, but I mean, I can't remember what I had.
How did you get around that? Riding a BM in a Honda?
Well,
you know what I mean? It's...
That was just part of, well, I mean...
That's class.
Well, that was just what, I mean... Neil wanted somebody to come and, ride the Honda along with John. And obviously Plater would smash himself to bits, so...
Aye.
I was like, yeah, it was just unbelievable, that bike.
Right, I was about to say, comparing, apples and apples and oranges, apples and pears or whatever. So
the biggest problem I had with it was when we looked at the data between John and I. I mean, I was rushing into corners like, wait. I had these magnesium factory show of Fox on, right?
Sorry for interrupting, we'll go back. What number were you?
5.
Number 5. Carry on. Sorry, magnesium folks. Yeah.
But I mean, the feedback you got for these things, it was just insane. I mean, you could feel the confidence I had in the front end, but I come to look at the data and I'm like, well, look, you go in there like, yeah, miles and miles and miles an hour faster than John, but see, by the time you get to the end of there, John's past you again and he's, I mean, I was trying to ride like a 600, eh?
Yeah.
I mean,
were you riding a 600 that year as well?
Yeah, 2010, yeah, I did.
Was that the PTR bike? Because I remember there being like a big thing about Johnny being there with you, and I remember seeing him in the overalls and stuff. And
yeah, what? I was the Tinkata bike.
Yes, sorry, not
Jonathan's
PTR bike. Yeah,
2008 bike.
Yeah,
fucking awesome thing. Like.
Yeah, and that was what you rode in 2010.
That's what. Yeah, when we first got it. Like Jonathan, Ford Ronald. I mean, I had a really good relationship with the Tinkata guys because I spent so much time at World Superbikes. Jonathan. And Jonathan had phoned Ronald and said, "Is like my old 600 stuff still sitting in the shop?" And he's like, "Yeah, what? Blah 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 blah." I said, "Well, I need it for keys." Right, so we ended up getting a deal. Jonathan actually paid for the bike at the time, and then obviously sorted it out afterwards. But Jonathan's like, "No, you need a decent bike for us," and I had WP suspension and stuff on it, which was, I mean, I'd been riding the show on K-Tech, which I just absolutely loved. My little brother drove to Holland to get it, nearly missed the ferry, got it back to the mainland just in time for somebody else to wheel it on in Galway for first practice. I done one lap on it and I just said, "Park it, don't touch it."
A thing on it.
One lap. I just like, do not touch, do not. Nothing.
Put Derv in it and fucking put new tyres on it.
It was absolutely. I mean, I should have won. I should have won at the blooming Northwest in 2011, but it was one of them. I was leading, fucking bottled it. Hutchie got me. But no, it was good. I mean, I did win at the. When did I win?
You're on the rostrum in that in 2010, weren't you, on the Super Sport bike?
No, I mean, like Hutchie and I ended up out front, and it was lap record, and I got to like I think the second last lap, and I tucked the front 3 or 4 times, and I was like, I am on the absolute limit here.
I'm done.
I know. I mean, I was like,
you were still committed, but you were like on the edge of it.
I know. I mean, I was to the point where I was like, I just got away with that. I mean, so I knew how hard Hutchie was pushing, like, because it was just but I mean, I couldn't close the gap on him. I mean, I couldn't get in a slipstream, so we just kind of stayed the same and just traded lap records for the whole race. But Hutchie ended up winning it. But I did get the fastest lap record. Not that that's much of a consolation, because it means fuck all.
It doesn't, but I know why you'd think that, though.
But yeah, and then I think I was, after Hutchie had done the 5 in a row, we went to, the next big meeting was the Ulster. And yeah, I was the first person to beat Hutchie. After his winning streak.
After that, yeah.
Class.
Yeah, that was some race, like 2010 Supersport race 2. We went at it, like, me, both Dunlops and Hutchie. It was intense, like.
Class.
That was good. I really, really enjoyed it.
Is that your most memorable race?
Most memorable meeting, yeah. I think I went there when there's a race on the Thursday, whatever it is, the Dundrod 150 or whatever.
Yeah, they used to do that,
yeah. And Hutchie and I were miles in front, and then Hutchie's Superbike blew up, and I won that on my stalker. I was like 5 seconds or something in front of Bruce and that.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, no, it was good, and then, you know, I had 5 podiums. I was sitting on 6 podiums total.
But you won the Dundrod race, yeah, you won that. So you've won Northwests, you've won Ulster Grand Prix.
Yeah. I never won a TT. I only finished, I think, 19 races.
Right.
11 top 10s. I had 4 third places, 1 second place, 5 fourths, I think.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did your friendship with Jonathan come from? Because you said there that you spent a lot of time at World Superbike and stuff, and then, I mean, there's not many people who can say they've had an 8-time world. Is it 8 times?
6.
6 times.
I wish it was 8.
I love that straight away.
Yeah.
6, Josh. 6,
yeah,
mate.
I wish it was 8.
Yeah, but
It should have been 8.
But do you know what I mean? Like, for to actually buy essentially a Super Sport bike or pay to get it there and get you doing that, like, that's amazing.
The thing is, I spent so much time at World Superbikes between 2008, 9 and 10. I mean, when we first went, or Johnson first went, to Dinkata, I mean, he had to do his first season with Supersport. I mean, he finished second in the world anyway. He would have won it, but Robin Harms T-boned him in fucking France. Dickhead, but anyway. But
I actually recently read Jonathan's book, actually, and he talks a lot about the early, like loads of stuff I didn't know, really, because he was you both share that, really. He was relatively late into road racing, I suppose, wasn't he? And straight into Superbike pretty quick, 125 Supersport straight in, and then was in World Championship pretty quickly, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, Neil Tuxworth did not want him to go, like, but Jonathan, but that's the thing with Jonathan, he's very single-minded, very determined.
And it's worked.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
So did you meet Jonathan when he was in the British Championship then? Yeah,
he was in the British Championship, and I was actually with Billy McKenzie, the motocrosser, because Jonathan was he's a shit-hot motocrosser. No, he's like top 10 British Championship material, easily.
See, the mad thing, I remember reading that years ago, and it was like, in his own words, and like, hopefully I'm getting this right, but he said he was a failed motocrosser. You know, 6-time world champion, and he's a failed motocrosser. It's like, that's hard to believe.
But Jonathan's... favourite thing in life is motocross. I mean, road racing is just his day job. Like, once you leave the circuit, you don't talk to Jonathan about road racing.
No, it's motocross. That's class.
That's it. He's like, no. But I mean, over the weekend, the road racing weekend, obviously, it's just... But then come Sunday night or Monday morning...
Where we're riding Tuesday.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's his passion. I mean, to be honest, I was pretty much the same. I mean, I probably still prefer riding off-road bikes than I do to road bikes. Yeah. Just because that's what I kind of grew up with, and that's... Yeah, I mean, it's always been a passion, Yeah. Love it. But Jonathan is just next level.
You see it, like, he's got his lads, like, getting in the way. Well, me and Chris, we were very lucky that we got invited to Johnny's, and we had him on the show, and it was just like, his garage has got, like, fully restored cars.
I haven't even been in there yet.
He's probably moved by now, but I don't know. But...
No, yeah, but I mean, I haven't. It's one of them I need to just get over. But I'm going to go World Superbikes. I've decided it's time to go back.
What, Jonathan coming up? Good man. Time to come back.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I am.
Yeah, good man.
But, as I say, I mean, we had so much fun at... the World Championship. You want to know a funny story?
Yeah, I do.
Nürburgring, 2008. Johnson's riding Supersport bike. So anyway, we always used to go to the track on a Wednesday. So it's like, well, Wednesday afternoon or Thursday afternoon, fucking nothing happening. So I said to Ronald, can we have a shot of your CRV to go into the shops and get some stuff? He's like, yeah, sound. So jump in the car, off we go, and then we spot the entrance to the Norderslife, the main thingy. I says to John, go for a lap. Like, I'd never been around it before, but other than the PlayStation, I'd done thousands of laps of PlayStation. And Jonathan's like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. So go down, pay the money, get on, fucking magic, blah blah. We get back to the garage. Ronald's like, can I have a word?
What are we doing wrong?
Oh, yeah, exactly. But there's bits of the circuit go past the main road.
Oh, God.
And some of the mechanics have been driving along it and seen us coming drifting around the corner and Ronald's CRV, It's company Honda CRV. Fucking talking about busted. Fuck.
Tyres all feathered up.
Oh, he was not happy. Like, he's just like, that's it. He's a fucking blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, we were like a couple of school kids getting spanked. It was all bad. Like,
absolutely.
We had some laugh over there. Jonathan and I actually then went and hired a car, a little Suzuki Swift thing.
And then wrecked that instead.
No, but it's an actual track car.
Right.
You rent them. We went there and I'll tell you what, Jonathan's got some belief, like, because I mean he never knew the track at all. Anyway, I'd done like 3 laps and then Jonathan jumped in to do his 3 laps, and there was a kid from South Africa that was also, like, I don't know, he was riding a Tinkata bike, but it was like a leased bike. Can't remember his name. He was decent, like, he was quick, but his parents obviously had money, and I mean he'd obviously done a lot of track days in cars or whatever.
Yes,
blah blah blah. And so anyway, we ended up behind him on the track, and Jonathan, like, he never even played on a PlayStation. I mean, he'd literally done 3 laps in the car with me, and that was it. And just hovering in, and I'm like, right, not welded. Just keep it fucking welded. Do not lift. Blind faithy. Just not a problem. Honestly, I took him around the TT in the back of a Fireblade.
Right.
In 2008 or 9 maybe. We got a brand new Fireblade off the stand. And he put a set of my leathers on, my helmet, everything, and then...
Was this officially, unofficially, like closed roads? Or...
No, it was, the roads were open.
Yeah.
And we headed out so far, and then... I can't actually say too much, but anyway.
It's annoying when you're thinking of the story in your life.
Back in traffic lights, I was like, right, Jonathan, I will show you where we're going. But I mean, I came over the mountain there, so this thing doing 186 mile an hour on a limiter. And he never flinched it.
What a man.
He did not. It was almost better than being on the bike on my own. Because he knew exactly, you know what I mean? It was...
Like, it's a cool thing to be able to give to someone at his level as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we got back and everybody's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And Jonathan's like, yeah, not for me. If I'd been on the back of him, I'd have been fucking punching him up just earlier.
Nothing.
He just bang, no, it's alright, Keith knows what he's doing, it's all good, like. I mean, I had this thing fucking sliding about, like, and he just did not flinch. Oh, he's unbelievable. He's got...
I wonder if there's an interview somewhere with Johnny Ray right now going, I'll never get on the back of a bike with Keith Moore again.
Probably. I mean, it was probably...
We could get a bit of footage of him from Donington and see if we can catch him and get him to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I'd never ever get on that bike, 100%. I love it.
It just, nothing phases me. Yeah, I mean, he's just got this unbelievable belief, which is, obviously why he's a 6-time world champion.
Yeah.
You can't knock that. Like.
You can't knock that. But I tell you what, I really would like to talk about is, like, that's the best thing about this podcast, that Chrissy started. It's the fact that you get a full story of it, and you can hear the passion, you can hear the love of it all. And, we briefly touched on it at the beginning of the episode. It's like, you went through, like, you fell out of love with it. So why did you fall out of love with bike racing?
Well, the good thing, I mean, the best years for me was like 2008, 9 and 10. Because I wasn't expected to win. And I mean, like, Jonathan and I used to go to round, like, national meetings. And there was money back then, I mean, I used to get paid to go to all events. I mean, Ryan and we done all right, like.
Yeah.
I mean, we made a living just going racing and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think apart from maybe 2 or 3 races that the Dunlop boys won. I mean, it was either Ryan and I won every single other race.
Yes.
It was, so I mean, prize money wise, it was...
And you were racing against each other at this point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I mean,
all of the, like, national road races.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, it was epic, like,
Skerries, Kells, Mid-Antrim, you would have had the lot of them.
Killer Lane, fuck me, that was some track, like, unbelievable. I mean, that's the hairiest track I think I've ever raced at.
Right.
Oh no, to the point like we're going that fast through this. Well, you were actually jumping, cutting the corner, so you were going across the grass, like over the top of the grass, and then landing in like 150, 160 mile an hour, and the road's not as wide as this.
I've only ever driven it. I never got to race, and I'm gutted because
it was the hear 'em, scare 'em, that place. Like, but again, epic. I mean, we had some amazing races around there. But yeah, we just got to the whole national racing scene, especially in Southern Ireland, was it's just epic.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to, but Jonathan and I used to go and recce, like, whatever circuit was next on the calendar, and it would be a year in, like an IM3 at the time, and driving. Jonathan's just like, no, you're not racing here, like sound, that's it, canned.
Right.
We went to a few places that it was just
too much.
Well, even like one of the circuits we went to, there was like just, it's just tar, it's not got any...
with the gravel, I mean,
it was just shiny black tar.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I nearly crashed in practice when it was dry, but then there was a drizzle of rain come down. It was actually a really nice guy. He was the only racing in 125, he actually got killed. But I mean, we just went in after practice and Like,
No.
no racing.
Yeah.
I said, that's it, I've called it. It's not happening. And Johnson's just like, not a chance. So we actually sat with the officials until, your man got killed, and then it was obviously the meeting was cancelled after that. But it was the best time for me, like doing the nationals and stuff.
The golden years.
Yeah, even 7 when I joined Real Duncan at first. I mean, I was in there clearly as a number 2 at Cameron Down, or Golden Balls as my brother called them, who could do no wrong. But I mean, we were literally putting bikes together out of parts. I mean, it was not what it was advertised as.
Yes.
When I think the first meeting we went to was Cookstown, and I'd never been before. And I actually beat Cameron in the first race, which did not go down well at all.
No.
Oh no, it didn't go down well, like, at all. I mean, it was like, you'd think the team would be fucking happy. They were like not amused, like, that I'd beat them. But I mean, that was part of a learning process. I mean, I went through it and stuff, and yeah, I mean, it was good fun, like.
Yeah.
But it was frustrating as fuck as well.
So by the sounds of it, this, like, the falling out of love element, you've had the golden years.
Yeah.
And it was more, do I dare say, the political element that sickened you?
No, not so much political, but I mean, it's you jump on a factory Honda, you're expected to win. That's it.
Yeah, there's a different level of... It's a different gig now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
It's a job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many flights we ended up... Because in 2011, with the TT Legends team, I mean, we done the full World Endurance Championship. I mean, we raced at Suzuka, I mean, Le Mans 24... dude, whoever invented that sport's fucking... I say to them, like... That is not fun. I don't care what anybody says, that is just not fun.
I hope you're listening, Joe.
I was about to say, Joe Ackroyd's like a world endurance ride. I'm glad he's not in on this one. Sorry, Joe, no offence.
Yeah, just, I mean, I actually remember the Ball Door, the first year, and I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something. And it was only about 4 or 5 degrees, because the organiser said if it got any colder, they were going to red flag it, and then, obviously wait
for a bit.
So it was the middle of the night, and myself, Steve Plater, who is a machine, by the way, like when it comes to the World Endurance Racing, especially at night time.
Yeah.
He's just unbelievable. And John, so yeah, I'd come out from my stint, and I mean, I don't know how many bikes was probably on the circuit, up to 60 maybe, like all the different teams. And going down, what's the name of the circuit? The one where Johnny got T-boned that I can never remember the name of it. France.
Magny-Cours.
Magny-Cours, thank you.
I never remember. But you come down the start finish straight, round the left hand, and you go big right, and then you come on back up, and your braking marker's like just before the bridge. But I mean, there was like hardly any wind. It was really still, but like all the barbecues and everything, it's fucking mental. It was my first World Endurance race. And all the smoke's coming across the track, and you can smell burgers and everything else. Anyway, it was like, whatever it was, time, I don't know, in the morning, I don't know what lap I was on and stuff, and I'm coming up round the thing, and I look over, and I cannot see one light anywhere on the track, and I'm like, that's not possible. And I'm just starting to, go through the haze and smoke and stuff of the barbecues, and I thought, the first thing that came out, I said, maybe I've crashed, maybe I'm dead. Honestly, this is what's. I mean, it was obviously a split second thing, but I'm thinking, fuck, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then it comes through the other side, and then all of a sudden, there's fucking lights from. I'm like, fuck. I'm definitely not dead.
Not yet.
But I mean, that's it. Just messes with your brain, man. That sleep deprivation and everything else. It just yeah.
So you won't be setting up a world endurance team anytime soon.
Do you know, Jonathan always used to say to me, I'd love to do a 24 race. I'm like, Jonathan, you wouldn't. No, I would. I'm like...
He's done Suzuka a few times.
He's won Suzuki, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's won Suzuka, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go on, get your levers back out.
I would like to do one, just for the challenge.
Hold on, we're going to sign a petition on Chasing the Race, and get your pens out, kids. Yeah, we're going to get Keith Amor, get the levers back out. My eye, son. Johnny Rail started. Go on. Johnny, if you're listening, son, get him back on his levers.
Jonathan knows I'm wrecked. No, I'm broken, man. I've crashed 3 times at TT.
That was in the first... No, that was in the same year, is that correct?
No.
No, you crashed twice in the same year.
No.
No?
Wait a minute. No, I crashed 2015.
Yeah.
Crashed 2000 and... Oh, no, maybe I did actually. Maybe it was 11.
It was...
because Union Mills.
Yeah.
And then...
Oh, I remember that. I remember watching that.
There's me going off. Thank God.
Yeah, I remember the Union Mills one. You got away with that, really, didn't you? That one was...
Oh, I didn't even my leathers one. It was that slidey.
Yeah.
Like,
was that the last time they really did anything in the rain round there?
It wasn't like the rain, was it?
It was not. It was like wet at one part of the course and then set off.
Yeah, it was...
No, the clerk of the course decided in his infinite fucking wisdom that he would put the lack of adhesion flags out at every single post.
Corner.
Yeah. So, like, John started off, he went off at number 1, I was number 2 that year. And John didn't like the damp. So he just, like, I closed in on John in no time, so he just hooked on the back of me and I was a guinea piggy.
Aye.
But when the first time we gone through Union Mills, it was dry. And anyway, it was different. I was just fucking guinea pig. I mean, you don't know because the lack of adhesion, you've no idea. I mean, it's 37 3/4 miles. I mean, there's over 250 corners, so what might be around the next one, especially when every single
corner's got this flag out.
Got the flag out for the lack of adhesion. You've no idea if it is. Anyway, we were going around, I think Cameron Donald and Guy Martin had caught us. We were going up over the mountain. And I think just after the bungalow, I got a bad head shoot and the bike cut out. So I was like, fuck. Anyway, I watched them disappearing up the road and then I realised, the rocket scientist that I am had switched it off.
I hit the kill switch
by accident. And I'm like, red mist was down there. But they pulled about 6 or 7 seconds on me. And I'd caught them again going back at the Union Mills and I thought, well, it was dry. One dry.
Yeah, I remember watching that. It was just as you come over the jump as you go left, isn't it? And you
just before I was coming in, I'm like, I'm catching John real fast here, really fast, and I'm like, what? But Cameron Donald had traction control on his bike, and he said that's the only reason that he never crashed. Guy Martin ran over his own foot. He was up at the seat, and John McGuinness said I could smell the rain, so I slowed down, and I came barreling in like
flat to the mat.
Yeah, and I just remember and I thought, oh shit. So I held on the bike. I was like, if I'm going on the wall here, I want the bike to go in first.
Jagged walls there.
Yeah, it's back. Well, you know what it's like. But then the back went real quick and it spun round right in the middle of the road and I just let the bike go, But the worst thing was, I'm watching my bike spinning towards John McGuinness and I'm thinking, Tuxworth's going to kill me. I've just wiped out the top man of
John McGuinness.
John McGuinness, he's the man. I'm just... John literally went in the corner and my bike just went over, hit the wall and fucking pinballed over. It was like that close. And I just got to stood up and walked off track.
Yeah. I remember watching that on the TV.
But your shoulder injury?
No, that was in practice week,
Yeah, so what was that? Quarter Bridge?
Yeah. First time I'd ever gone down Bray Hill on the big bike without lifting at all, and I was like, yeah, it's on. With some cement dust. And I just changed my lane a little bit and it just sat down squatted and then just ejected me and that's why that's still like that.
You're still suffering with that?
Oh yeah, it needs operated on again, that's one of the reasons I decided.
Is that the metal work?
Oh, they put artificial ligaments and things and just
bloody hell.
Pulled it back
so
together.
what year would that have been?
2011.
2011. Oh no, Honda.
Yeah.
Factory Honda.
So that was after the year of when you were close to the edge and 2010 was close to the edge, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, but I'll never forget it because Johnson somehow got down to Quarter Bridge and picked me up and we got back to the awning and I'm taking my suit off and Tuxworth and Johnson's looking at me and they kind of looked at each other and I was like, is it bad? And shoulder was sitting down here.
Oh, you bugger.
But I still raced. I finished second overall with John in the points. Found a very nice surgeon who, Isla, physio.
Yeah.
So they would take me up, put it in the right place and they would give me like an epidural 20 minutes before the start of every race, and as long as that was, I had no problem. But see, when it wore off, nothing. I
really
could not use my hand at all because I went out and practiced after one of the races and I was like literally coming over the mountain and all of a sudden I was like, what's happening? And I just, nothing, just shut off, literally just nada. So I mean we had to time it to
get it in.
Right on. Yeah. So it was like 15-20 minutes before there was a picture in MCN, like the needles. I hate needles. But surgeon got me through.
Bloody hell.
At TT, I shouldn't have been racing.
Because what years were you riding for Factory Honda?
10 and 11.
10 and 11?
Yeah.
So when I thought you had a fair few years on your BMWs. You had. Did you go back?
No,
Was that prior?
Because 2010, but then 2014 when I ended up racing for Ryan.
That's right, yeah.
One of my old sponsors like, oh, blah, blah, and then next minute it just escalated fucking out of control, and it's like full
Honda 600s and everything.
I mean, yeah, we spent just under 400 grand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what bikes did you have then? You had Ryan's twin.
No, not in 2000. In 2014 I did.
Yeah.
Because I actually, I went on AMOR, which was really good for Ryan because his title sponsor was... I beat Jeremy as well, which was great.
Yeah. He's up, by the way.
Is Jeremy right or not?
I'm not. Hey, I tell you what, I went at the press launch and he was there. It was good crack. And he's like, well, I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm hoping that wasn't a political dive out of it. But I really hope he does turn up.
He's a good lad.
He can pedal a bike. He's just got the hunger for it, man.
He's unbelievable.
Class.
He's a special talent. Like, I mean, how old's he now?
60.
Yeah.
No, oh God, I'm going to get in trouble if I get that. Grace, edit that out. No, but it's no.
He's definitely got a bus pass, hasn't he? He must have.
Yeah, he can't be far away.
No, he can't be. But I tell you what, the lad's still got the hunger, and if he turned up, because I'm glad you reminded me of that. Because like, when you go to AMOR, when you like coming in the farmyard, there's a massive banner with the Race of Legends written on it in its class, and you're part of that. That must be come on, Howie. That is special.
I'm actually on it 3 times unless they've changed it. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But see the AMOR, the Bill and the gang that run that place.
Yeah.
Here's a funny story. The first time I'd done it, when would it have been? 8 or 9. Yeah, 8 or 9. I think. I got to the circuit and they're like, right, park the race truck in there. It's basically a farm and it was like mud and shit everywhere, and I was
proper road race. Proper road race.
I mean, and they're like, yeah, park over there, and I'm just like, nah, that's a no for me. So I just turned the truck around and I was like driving off in the distance. Jonathan was driving in from Ballyclare, and I'm like, fuck it, Jonathan. I said, I'm not doing it. And they actually phoned me and they're like, blah, 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 and ended up put us to a completely different place, and it ended up being an absolute brilliant event. Like,
oh, it's a hell of
I had so much fun. It's a
proper, like, it honestly, it's this far off being an international. I mean, yes, I'm a biased road racer, but it is the best Irish road race going. I know we unfortunately lost the Ulster, but it is by far the best Irish road race going.
For what reason? Because the event or the course?
No, the atmosphere, amazing, the track, everything. It invites close racing. It is just absolutely mega. And the thing is, as far as spectators are concerned, it's a must-go. It is a must-go. You can access any part of the track at any time. You can be infield, outfield. The paddock's totally open, and the fact that there's a pub at like the first, well, not the first turn because you got the chicane, but the first proper, like the first hairpin turn. There's a pub called the AMOR. It's full of mint. Oh, it's just...
I nearly wiped out Guy Martin in 2014 going in there. I could have actually got around the corner, but I'd have wiped him out, like, and I thought this maybe not good. I hit one of the white lines, in front, and I was like, and he was slowing down, and I was like, and I stood it up and went.
But like that's another thing. Like as far as like road racing's concerned, in my opinion, Touchwood, and like it's one of the safest tracks out there.
Yeah, I mean,
I know it's you know what I mean. Like obviously we've got the 700 coming up next, and we've got loads of other road races that are still, fantastically ran. But like as far as like I'm always concerned, even when you before church bends, even when you come over that back jump, like
I tried to double on the bike and I got it all wrong. I nearly went. Well, it was so bad.
But if it went wrong, like I remember, was it Jamie Hamilton? I remember Jamie Hamilton going through the hedge there. But like the mad thing is, the Hawthorne hedge, it actually runs with the track, and as stupid as it sounds, when you come off, he hit it and rolled with the hedge. He didn't come to a stationary stopped wall or anything like that. He actually, when you hit something, you're going to get fucked up. There's no two ways about it. But in the same breath,
generally,
you're going to roll with it. You know what I mean? You've got, but there's runoff. There's like even coming in like into Church Bends itself, you can make a move there, and there's that. there's nothing stationary. You know, gates are open. You know what I mean? It's.
I've not been around it yet.
No, I loved it. I think it's an awesome circuit.
Like, you got Joey's jumps at the back, the Dunlop jump leaps, Dunlop leaps at the back. There's free. Wow, right. And it's just like, what the?
In comparison to jumps at Cookstown, scale-wise.
Oh, mate.
Cookstown.
Yeah.
That's not a jump.
Well, it is to me.
It was his first road race. Well, he did Oliver's Mount, and then so it's good. No, but like the jumps at AMOR, you can have 3 abreast, fully airborne. Just
I don't know.
And you're like, this
Yeah, but are they just flat out straight line jumps?
Yeah.
Because that's boring.
No. The other two jumps
coming
at the back.
you've got to watch that. Like
You've got to be tasty for it. But like everything, there's an art to it, and there's a line. You know what I mean? But if you start guessing the line, you're going to get into problems. There's a distinctive method to it, you know, in the madness. You know what I mean? You've got to line it up straight. The spectating element is just nuts.
I don't know who I'd rather go around with more, you or you, but fucking neither of you actually. By the sounds of this conversation.
But in the same breath, you think about who got invited last year. Like, you know, like Padgett's turned up last year with Davey Todd. You got Michael Dunlop turning up. You had Dean Harrison turn up. Dean Harrison, you know, I really hope he turns back up. I don't know. There's been no speculation of his contract Honda rider, but he's got his own stocker. I'm hoping he just pulls up with his bike and goes like.
He's a class act.
He is a class. No, they're all class acts. But the important thing is these class acts are going to a national Irish meeting. That shows.
I think Davey's going, isn't he?
Davey's going, because of the TAS team, you know. Like, the good thing about the, you know, thoroughbred road race team, the TAS team. Yeah. But the good thing is that event is. Every man the dog's going. The only person really out of that who's not going is Peter Hickman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Dean Harrison turns up, but Dean Harrison came back with Alistair Russell's team, like last year on the R6.
He's my mechanic.
Alistair Russell, what a lad he is, mind, isn't he? We give him so much praise on the show. I'm a big fan of him.
When he was 15, we ended up just by chance fixing a bike in his dad's garage, and he ended up being my mechanic from then on in.
Brilliant bloke. I got a lot of time from him. Fantastic.
And great family.
And to be fair, this year, doing my first 3 road races, been him and Derek McLaughlin, who works for him as well as the marketing team. They're massive helps. Like I've literally annoyed the shit out of him at every round I went to, and I went in his order at the northwest to borrow something, and he didn't even bat an eyelid. It was the last one he had as well.
But that's the thing that people forget. Like the road racing paddock is so open.
Oh yeah,
it's so welcome. It's like when you're talking about like the early days of motocross, and it's like it is that paddock. It really is. You know, it's like the Burrows team. You know, people are coming in like
especially in Ireland.
Oh, especially in Ireland.
They do want you to be there. Like it's
that's what's great about. I mean, AMOR for me, they were just
the doors are open.
Picture of Jonathan taking like tire over off, and it's like muddy and
that's class.
But I mean, it was epic.
That's just road racing.
But man. But then it just attracts the right people. I'd say a couple of friends and sponsors of mine and the counting team, John M. Patterson, they're sponsoring the Supersport racing. It's attracting the right people, and it's just like the open door policy is so welcoming.
I much prefer it to the Northwest.
I agree.
I think people are stupid chicane in the Northwest.
But the mad thing is, even that the one chicane they've got at AMOR,
they kind of need it.
No, not even just that. I think it's fucking brilliant. Which sounds weird because like the entrance into it, you actually jump the second curb. So you've got the first curb on the right, but you actually straight line it. But the second you come off the wheels, the second you land, you commit to your knee. Not like there's no time to actually think about aiming it. You just go
I've been
down, bang, and it's
through it a few times. Yeah,
it's mega. But you can hit it so fast.
Yeah,
even though it's a chicane, mate, it's boom, 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 and it's not
William Dunlop used to be amazing through there.
Oh fucking yeah.
Honestly, I had some great races with William and Guy and Michael and round there and Ryan.
Yeah,
I tell you what, let's talk. I tell you what, let's talk
about the last lap of the blooming Superbike race. I went coming down the back in the last left-hander before you go. The last road end before you go in the left-hander at the start finish.
Yeah,
and I was leading, and I went past a couple of back markers, but I mean quite close, and I just turned in, and next man I just feel this bang, and I thought I'd hit the back marker. And it wasn't. It was fucking Ryan let the brakes off, come up the inside and just ran straight in the back of me, sat me up, and then passed me the last lap. Fuck, I was raging. I was not a happy bunny.
Class. So I'll tell you what, let's talk about what was Ryan like to race against, and then what was he like to work with?
Yeah, difficult. No, to be fair.
In both categories?
No, well, I mean, he's obviously builds his own bikes and stuff.
Aye.
I mean, I only rode the Super Twin from. I mean, he's put it all together himself from scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot knock Ryan.
Yeah, what he does.
He's
a passionate fellow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's done a fucking outstanding job. But I mean, as far as like my competitors, like, yeah, Ryan is. Him and I just used to have like a fierce rivalry.
To the point. Was it to a point where? Did you not enjoy racing against him?
No. I mean, I was just determined to beat him, and he was determined to beat me, and that was it. So
would it have been as good with him not there then?
No chance.
There you are. That's a proper rivalry. That, you know what I mean? It's like I needed him there. You know what I mean, though.
But Ryan said the same thing about me. I mean, and Ryan's been around for a lot longer than me, but he's just like, yeah, as far as commentating, like that little fucker, he's fierce, man. Because I just refused to give in. No, I'm here to try and win it, so it's no point in just going to make up the numbers. But we had I had quite a few exchanges of trading paint and words and a
few other things.
How him and I didn't end up rolling around the ground, I have got no clue.
Would you have a pint with him if you seen him now?
Oh yeah, I used to have a pint with him back then, but then if he had too much red wine, he used to get aggressive, and then it just used to get. He's a lot bigger than me, by the way. But no, that wouldn't make any difference. Exactly. But
I don't think it would stop you, son, to be honest.
But it was just, that's just how it was. I mean, then we'd go out and, we'd go out and bang fairings and bang bars, but then sit and have a couple of glasses of red wine at night.
That's class.
That is good, that.
And just like take a piss at each other. That was it.
So we were shocked when this idea came about to get you back on the bike in 2014. It was like, I'll start up if you start up.
Well, I thought he was taking the piss.
Aye.
Well, that's why we were both drunk. Obviously, it was Christmas Eve or whatever. And we're on Facebook, and he said, why don't you start racing and you ride one of my bikes? I said, yeah, right, I'll do it if you do it. And then, a week later, he's fucking on the phone. He's like, right, I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah.
Class.
Yeah, man. That was good. To be fair, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good fun.
Class.
But then I got dragged right back in it again, and it started all over again.
So then 15, you had another big year, TT.
Well, no, that's when I called it a day after that. Like,
right, okay.
Because I crashed, when I crashed en masse, broke my back, my neck.
This in 15?
Yeah, and then I just decided that was done.
Yeah, that was you.
And that was me. I was just like, right, I need to stay away from it.
And I was going to say, and you falling out of love with it is it getting over it?
It wasn't so much falling in love with it, I just...
You had to stay away?
Yeah, because I just knew I'd get dragged back in. I mean, that's the trade-off. It's like you just need to stay away from it.
Yeah.
And how's that going? Because obviously you work, you do a bit of work with the TT and you're involved in the paddock, you've come on the podcast, how's that going for you?
Well, now I'm old enough and fucked enough that I don't need to worry about it.
Like, you're not that bothered.
The bottom line is, even if I wanted to, I probably couldn't come back and race. So I've kind of got to a stage now where it's, I'm all right with it.
Yeah.
Like, I was up at Knockhill with my brother and stuff for the BSB round when Rory won. Yeah. He's a really good kid.
Yeah. We've had him on the show a couple of times. He's a really nice lad.
I ended up spending days with him over at the TT, and I think it was good for him because after everything he's been through, he just didn't want. He had to just kind of do something that was going to occupy him. So I mean, I had him doing all sorts of stuff. He was on stage. He was dishing out trophies. I mean, I took him around for a lap in the bus, which was interesting. I fucking got lost, man. The weather was
Shut up, man.
Honestly.
How the fuck did you get lost around there?
Coming up over the mountain, literally, I got into Joy's or whatever it was, but I mean, you could not see 20 feet in front of it, and some guy behind me, because I'm talking away on the microphone, some guy behind me starts asking me questions, and I turned back around and I was like, and the bus driver went, Mountain Mile. I mean, this is a sort of Mountain Mile. But I mean, just totally disorientated because I wasn't paying attention, and I was just like, fuck it. But I mean, you could not see 20 feet in front of the coach.
Yeah. I bet you're glad he never raced in that when you think what Joey was doing.
I can't even get my head around it.
here's a bit of a side question. With Michael Dunlop winning 27 or on 28, 29. Jesus, 29. I'm gonna get stoned to death for that one. 29 wins. Is it more impressive what Joey achieved with his wins or what Michael has? It's an open discussion.
I would probably say what Michael's done, because there's more competition out there now. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Joey was, but I mean, a lot of time he was on factory bikes.
You're referring to the weather conditions.
No, but the mad thing is, you know what I like about Michael? Like, and I like I say, I've said this loads on the show. Like, I don't know Michael, but what I like is about how he holds himself. And it's like, even on those interviews when he did the 27 win in that Super Twin race, he was like, "Look, I'm not comparing myself against."
I don't think
Joey. They're two
yeah.
different people, and the way he actually labelled the sport and go, things move, everything moves on.
That's the difference.
But I think people almost go, "Oh, compare yourself," because I saw Hickman getting slated that he said, "Don't compare yourself to Hillwood." He says, no, he's equalled his record. You know, people don't read before they react. And I'm thinking, hold on.
Yeah,
but what?
Peter gets a lot of unnecessary stick, personally.
He does, but it's like, but what? The mad thing is, I think from, do I dare say, our timeline, I never was fortunate enough to watch Joey race. But like what Michael's done now, you know, when you talk about weather conditions, like Michael's had to go out in every dry race. You know what I mean? There's no advantages gained or anything in that side of things. Yes, there has been sketchy conditions throughout TTs, but they do not go out in the wet anymore.
I just think it's like you could go even short circuits with Grand Prix. I just think the people who win are at the top of their game at that time, are at the top of the game at that time and deserve to be, and it's uncomparable. Yeah. In my view,
I think nowadays it's way different. I mean, Joey was he was like a 3-time world champion or something, wasn't he?
That's right. It's mental. It's class, isn't it?
Which is, I mean,
there's different challenges, isn't there? Like you say, they used to ride in shit conditions. I've rode some old super bikes, some classic super bikes, and I wouldn't have fucking rode it at the shops for a pint of milk compared to what we ride now. So yeah, those boys were going slower or whatever, but they're shit. In comparison to what we have now, the fucking bikes are a lot better.
I actually had a shot on Hizzy's Cadbury's Bush Yamaha.
Right.
And at the Classic. Unbelievable. I was thinking exactly the same as you. I thought this thing is going to be...
I rode a replica one of them and I crashed it.
Yeah. No, I think it was his actual bike, because Stuart Easton was meant to ride it, and I think he ended up going out with Hutchie the night before and ended up getting fucking hammered, so...
They didn't.
But I can't remember the name of the guy who owns the bike. He's got hundreds of X-race bikes and stuff, but he's just like, "Well, you're not riding it." I was like, "I've not got any leathers, I've got nothing." And he's like, "We've made the effort and blah, 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 blah." And I was literally, one minute I'm sitting next to, who was there? McGuinness, Agostini. I'm sitting in a line with a whole load of people I should not have been sitting with signing autographs. I'm just like, fucking, this is a who's who in the zoo, you know what I mean? I'm like, why am I sitting here?
Love it.
Obviously, but... So anyway, and they were kind of badgering me, and I'm like, the guy walking past, and I'm like, he's about the same height as me. I'm like, "Excuse me." I said, "What is that?" I said, "Can I borrow your leathers?" I said, "What?" I said, "Can I borrow your leathers?" And your boots and your gloves.
And your lid.
No, I got actually bought
it's the Terminator from Scotland. I need your boots, your motorcycle.
I had a shot of Milky's. I got one of Milky's arrows. And I ended up, I said, "Right, yeah." But I mean, the thing was on slicks and I had no tyre warmers, eh? Aye, yeah, exactly. I'm going out, so I'm first on the road behind the travelling marshal who you're not allowed to pass. I couldn't even keep up with him. It was like, whoa. It was like, fuck. It was like riding on marbles. But see, after 4 or 5 laps when the tyres came in, I was like, oh, I should came. I'm like, this thing's fucking on it, man. What?
Is that at the
Classic? But was it Derby on the?
Yeah. The Derby testers. Yeah, good days. They're really good.
Brilliant. So I mean, it was when. It was a Classic would have been on. So it was
August time, like.
Yeah, so it was massive. I mean, like Paul Phillips was still running a show, the whole thing. I mean, it was a massive event. And I came back in and I was buzzing. And he's like, "Would you race this thing?" I said, "Would I fucking race it?" I went back in. I'm like, to Paul Phillips, I said, "That thing is," and he just went, "No." I said, "No, you're going to say?" He said, "Not happening." No. He said, "Even if you want to," he said, "you're not getting an entry. Good luck with that." He said, "You're on the same side of the fence as me now." I was like, probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
That feeling must never like leave you though. that you get. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. If you still have a passion for bikes, it never dies, does it?
Nah.
It's still there.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the trouble. That's why I've just stayed away from it because it's just.
You've got to have a window, haven't you, where you just start to accept it and then.
Well,
No, not even that. He's just he's scared to be addicted again. I can see it in his eyes.
100%. That is the truth of it.
Yeah. So even riding at the classic, you couldn't just accept I'm going to do that one event.
No.
Well, Paul wouldn't give me a fucking entry anyway, so it wouldn't make any difference. But
It's probably doing you a favour.
yeah, definitely. But I mean, how long after 2015? I'm just trying to think. Didn't go on a bike again, apart from a motocross bike. I went on that Donington Bennetts, where the roads are like McGuinness.
Hold on, the Norton, round Norton, I was there.
Do you know, I ended up
With the little tents, and then we had the
Yeah,
full-on sit down,
that's right.
oh God, I was eating.
I ended
First
up-
time I ever had a 5-course meal in my life, and honestly, they brought out toothpaste. I'm like, what the fuck's that? And this woman, incredibly posh woman's like, it's a palate cleanser. I'm like, you fucking what? Like, I've never ever been there in my life. It was proper.
we had good for that. But the bike I ended up taking, I had a new CRF 450.
Yes, you did, yeah.
But I mean, I never had any fancy brakes in it, well, and I just put a set
Some
and I
slicks on
just
it.
absolutely killed the thing in the first. And McGuinness is like, well, you can share my bike, and I ended up getting on the podium for beating on his own bike. It was quite funny.
Mate, I tell you what, it's a shame that event doesn't happen anymore. Like
That was great
no,
fun.
Gary Thompson was clerk of the course. It was proper signed off ACU thing, and even Gary's going, what the hell are we? There was bales. Josh Brooks turned up on a KX 500 with knobblies on, backing it into the turn. I had a Honda Grom. I had a pit bike with my mate, and it was just like, there was utterly random bikes.
It
But
was
then
just,
it was
crazy, man.
that
But
first
great
year,
fun.
was
That's
not in
Donington
the
Hall,
tent.
yeah?
Oh, it was absolutely mega.
It's
But
going to
then-
be a hotel or something now, isn't it?
Haven't a clue. But then, unfortunately, next year, remember when they brought all the Supermoto lads in, and it was just like,
I only done that one.
no, mate, you had the best year. No, it was good crack. But like
it was great fun.
it was coming down the back drive, and it was just stones, and it was like a time trial, mate. That first year, I am so happy I was a part of that. It was
Yeah, it was.
absolutely that we need more of that in this country. Period. Because that was just absolutely fair play. You know what I mean? That was a hell of a weekend. That
McGuinness like badgered me to go down and do it because he was trying to get me to become the team manager for
Norton, yeah.
So that's why he's like, because obviously the shit that he was getting put on, he's like,
Yeah.
there's no way Keith will fucking
Stand for that.
yeah. So he was like begging me to fucking take over the team manager job. So I mean, I actually had a few meetings with that arsehole that used to run it.
He's nothing to do with the new one.
No, but I actually
yeah. So he works for Norton.
no, but he was
The new
a
Norton,
proper
not the
bad
one with
guy,
the fist
like.
misses.
He's a proper wrong'un. But
yeah.
how he didn't end up in jail, what he should have ended up in jail.
I'm precluded from talking on this topic. But I can nod in agreement.
You just nod, John. Don't say anything, son. But
Actually,
what a weekend that. Get your gaffers to sort that out. That Norton burnout.
What?
It's not at. We're not at Donington.
I don't care. Sort something like that out. The factory car park. Do something, because that was such
Where is
a.
the factory now?
Solihull, Shirley.
Will you travel all the way down there? I would for that.
The factory's, honest to God, I'm not saying because I work for them. The factory's fucking amazing to see.
Well, you just.
It's very good.
you
You're
put a
welcome to come
racetrack
anytime
round
and have a look at it. It's mint.
John's working for Norton now, is he not?
John Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good lad, John. Like, I like John.
I'm just worried in case I've said anything I shouldn't, because I'll get a fucking email tomorrow morning.
You'll be all right. This will be going out after. Hold on, I've already been at the yeah. Oh God, Bennett. Lots been happening. But I'll tell you what. Before we talk about what we're up to and stuff, what's next then? What's next? Mate, you're gonna have to come on every Wednesday. We have dipped and dived throughout this whole little story, this massive story. We've just not even cherry picked all the best bits. There's just little bits. But what is next? What is next for Keith Moore? Armour.
What I would really like to do is, if possible, would be get involved in running an international road race, but somewhere in the southern hemisphere. I mean, I've
Right.
possibly might be going to Brazil. A guy I looked after in VIP who's very influential, blah blah blah.
Fantastic.
And just to look at the possibilities of maybe putting an event on out there. And I actually spoke to somebody else from VIPs that look after it, sell super yachts. One of the guys was just
mad into it.
Yeah, and he's
sport
like,
needs
he
it.
said, "What about like run a race in Saudi?" I went, "Yeah, what about it?" He's like, "Could you get the riders?" I said, "If you get the backing," I said, "I'll get the riders. That's not a problem."
Yeah.
I mean, it's. But again,
You've got two.
but again, it's,
Get the paper out now, son.
it's I mean, that's something. I mean, I spoke to Neil Tuxworth about it quite a bit.
Right.
Because he's obviously. I mean, he's still involved with this thing that might be happening on the. Was it Isle of Wight or whatever?
Might that still happen? It was Isle of Wight, wasn't it?
It's gone quiet. You know what I mean? There hasn't been any news since
It's been
then.
passed by the council, but apparently it's the fucking Ramblers or something said they're not going to have access to the fucking rambling tracks or some bullshit like that.
It's
That's
because
the
it's
only
old.
thing that's stopping it.
It's old MOD land, isn't it? It looked great. The circuit.
I think, because Plater was involved. Steve
was involved.
But I mean, he just got so pissed off with it. I think he just was like, "No, I'm enough." Like, just got too
Aye.
frustrated. But I mean, obviously, Neil's got like a lot of experience dealing with a lot of things.
Corporate bullshit.
No offense to the Isle of Wight, but Brazil and Saudi,
Well, the
like
thing
big
is,
budget. I'm sounding pretty tasty for that. I'm not going to lie to you. Like,
Yeah, listen, it's pie in the sky at the minute, but of
course it is.
Again, it's something that's I've been asked about. It's not like I've approached somebody else and said to them, and they've said to me. So
And
I mean,
that's the thing that sort of
it's my
tickles your
job to
fancy.
follow up. I mean, I'm literally, hopefully, going to speak to one of the guys next week. So
brilliant news.
I mean, I look at the Southern Hemisphere. It would happen in the winter. I mean, it would probably be, definitely be a decent payday for. Yeah, I mean, and it wouldn't. Whoever's invited wouldn't cost them a cent. So worst case scenario, it's going to be a great experience. But again, no, like I say, it's all pie in the sky.
I've signed up, son.
Fuck it, I knew you would sign up
No,
straight away.
but you wouldn't have a problem getting big names out the road racing scene to go, would you?
No.
You just wouldn't.
No,
Because
I'm
it's-
pretty sure.
yeah,
the thing is,
They need more events like that, so great.
And the other side of it is when you've got a road racer like yourself at the, do I dare say, the helm of it, they're asking your advice, you know what I mean? It's not just people just clubbing together going, well, there's a bit of tarmac, let's crack on. You know what you're looking for, the safety, the aspect, everything.
I mean, I've been fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with Paul Phillips
Exactly.
and the TT crew, so I mean, I've got quite a good insight into how it all works.
And you've got support from your friends, like Paul Phillips and everything like that, so...
Well, exactly, and I mean, Paul is, he's the reason that the TT is what it is today.
Exactly.
I mean, that it's all Paul, like,
Yeah.
and the people that he's put around about him. He's done an unbelievable job, in my opinion. I mean, he's literally got it to a status now that's, I mean, who doesn't know what the Isleman TT is?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? And just the people and the money involved as well, with like Monster and like the big brands that are involved in it, which is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and like Brad Pitt and that are like making that fucking film about it, and I mean, it's hit the American market. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
world's your oyster.
only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, it's don't get me wrong. I mean, the Isleman government invested a lot of money to make it all happen. But I mean, since Paul, took the decision to dive in the deep end, producing themselves and going to pay-per-view. I mean, that was.
Yeah, but it was
ballsy,
mint.
risky move, innit?
Yeah, but it was mint. They've done it.
Oh no,
do you know,
exactly.
I worked for F1 when Liberty Media first bought them, and they first launched like OTT services, which was on demand stuff. The fucking TT one came out, and it was mint.
Yeah,
like,
straight off.
And the F1 one's good now, but it wasn't when it first came out. And it's for 19 quid. It was the fucking best 20 quid I've ever spent this year. It's the best 20 quid I've spent this year.
There you are. He's on commission, by the way.
I'm actually not, but it really was mint because I couldn't get over because of work and a few other things, and I was fucking suicidal for days that I wasn't going to get across. And then I bought this pass, and it was mega, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as an event now. I mean, I'm really fortunate because I get to look after some. Yeah, really. Well, this year, what's the guy's name? Yeah, I keep forgetting his name, and I'm going to say it wrong or something.
Get it written down. I like it.
I don't know what it is, if I still got it.
No, so by the way, if anyone wants to go to the TT, you will bum in a geek.
Oh,
He's
this
fully
guy.
involved. Here we go. What's the name?
Eric the Sounds. Just read what he is.
What the?
Yeah, so-
Eric Designs,
Yeah.
President, Chief Executive Officer of Yamaha Motor Europe.
so basically,
And the next bit,
he makes the tea for the guy that makes
Senior
the coffee.
Executive Officer, Yamaha Motor Company Limited.
yeah, Japan. He's the man.
he is the man.
He's the man.
Do you understand Scottish?
He's
He does now.
he is well. I'm trying to remember who it was. It
That's
was
class.
the old previous CEO of Yamaha UK that brought him over. I keep forgetting his name.
You see, it's good that people are involved in, you know what I mean?
But he'd been trying to get Eric to come over for like 20 years. And he was only there for one day, but I mean, obviously he's flying between Japan and Europe, and I mean, he's constantly in meetings with FIM and what direction Yamaha's going to take. I mean, he's the man. I didn't realise it was Whitman. I was like, fucking hell, you know who he is? I was like, no. It's like, no, he's a big hitter, like proper. I'm like, all right. But I mean, I just done my thing and took him around. I mean, he didn't even get to see a race because it was the Super Touring race. I think it was cancelled, but he got to see the one of the thingy laps. So, you know, and I took him down to Rossie's, down to Secret Garden and stuff, and it's, but I mean, the people that I'm fortunate enough to meet that are really high up the food chain, and you know, like in not just motorcycle, but well, lots and lots and lots of different things.
Yeah.
But to see, like Eric said to me, he's been trying to come over for 20 years, but I mean, the last thing he said to me was like, I will see you next year.
That's me.
I will come
That's
back to this. Yeah.
We see, it's
And to have Yamaha, I mean, Yamaha don't really have any involvement anymore with the, well, haven't had for quite a long time, the TT.
no, and being Honda being the only, do I dare say, factory supported, like BMW have involvement through FHO, you know, like a
Kawasaki did for a bit as well.
Kawasaki have a little
No,
bit,
but-
but I mean, having that, like,
BMW have got, yeah, they've got a lot more, because I ended up actually looking after, the top brass of BMW Motorrad Global, so,
Sven.
no, Sven's number 2,
All right.
yeah.
He's a lovely lad, Sven. He's actually a lovely lad, Sven.
He sent me, some really, really nice, they come from the car world, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like, yeah, listen, because I was telling him about the Brazil thing, he said, listen, I can introduce you to Rubens Barrichello and this and that, and the next thing he said, if you want a bit of, I'm like, fuck it,
It's mental, isn't it? It's see, the thing is, when people who like think, oh, there's not enough involvement from these, they are there. You know, Yamaha are there, BMW there. No, it's great. You know, it just shows the importance that is the TT and road racing. You know, it's important that this is happening.
well,
Really is.
I was,
It'll be great to see Yamaha like put a you know, I'm going to say it bluntly, put a full effort into the TT. You know what? There's a Yamaha team where Alan Garner here is OMG Racing for BSB. You know, he's the Yamaha effort on that side of things. Shit, hopefully something may come in with Yamaha into the roads on that side of things, like at a full.
you never know, but I mean, the good thing is Eric really enjoyed himself, and it's
Yeah, that's
the fact
great.
that he's just like, you know, I'll definitely be there next year. It's,
Great.
It means I keep my job, which is great.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But so I'm trying to think. At this point, I'm trying to think when this pod will be coming out. So it will be just before Armoy. Are we going to see it Armoy flying visit? Or?
I need to phone Bill. I promised Bill when I spoke to him at the TT.
Bill Kennedy who runs it. What a gentleman! Yeah.
Alistair's trying to get me, wants me to do a parade lap on one of his R6s. So what did I say about getting fucking dragged back in?
Yeah, dragged.
You would on that thing
You're
as
like-
well, because it's a fucking...
That's a proper bit of kit, I know.
You're like the mafia. Like, I keep trying to get out. I keep trying to drag me back in. It's like, you know what I mean?
It's
That's
not
the
quite
shittest
like that.
Italian accent ever, by the way. But
No comment.
no, but shit, it was shit. Then they are.
That could be the title of the pod, no comment.
No comment straight away. No comment. But no, but yeah, you're gonna. Hey, you need to catch up with Johnny. Get Johnny Ray back over. Catch up with him. You could bring a right crowd with you to Armoy. Get Bill Kennedy. Get him on the phone. Yeah, I'm bringing the
No,
crowd.
actually, like he took a number and I promised I would phone him, so I'll phone him and see what he said. So
Sweet.
I've been promising to go for I don't know how long, and just
He is proper nice guy, isn't he? And they just made a... I mean, he came to every road race I've been to this year. I'd never met him before in my life, and he came to all of them. He was at Scarborough, he was at Cooks down at Northwest, and always made an effort to like pop in. But you see him doing it with everyone, popping in, saying hello, have a cup of tea, have a biscuit.
a
or
brilliant
like,
club, amazing
Nice
club.
guys, yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why.
Do you know, it's the easiest entry form that I've ever filled in, because I'm shit at doing it. My team were on to me like, the fucking entry closes tomorrow, and I've had Bill on the phone saying you've not done it. So I was like, oh yeah, give us his number. I'll give him a chat. I texted him. I was like, hi mate, I really want to get an entry in still. Is it possible? He just went, you're in both super sport races. We'll sort it later. I was like, mint. It's why can't fucking everyone do that?
I don't remember actually ever filling in an entry form at any of the nationals.
But you keep them all.
Yeah.
Well, nobody knew at that point.
Yeah, but that's what they're like on them. They just
amazing.
But they never forget if you haven't paid or something. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just organised. They're like unorganised. It's class. I
used to
love
go
it.
down to Kells was one of my favourites. Yeah. I mean, they really used to look after me. And there's a pub there in Kells that we used to end up on a Sunday night or whatever. But I mean, the last couple of times I was there, I used to take the guys, my brother and that, to the airport so they could get back to work, and I used to get home on like a Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, it was good times. Like
Class.
It was, yeah, just had, like I say, that was definitely the golden years back 8, 9 and 10.
Love it.
We had some, we used to get back before Wednesday.
Just stay on for a few days.
And go adventuring.
Mint.
It was, a great time. It's just such a shame what's happened in Southern Ireland as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, there is nothing anymore,
Never say never, and I'm saying that with an open heart on that side of things. I really hope it does get sorted, but obviously it's a slippery slope they're on at the moment as far as the insurance is
I don't even
concerned.
think they could run a motocross meeting now.
Nah, there's no insurance.
There's nothing.
Nada, is it?
Nothing.
Mondello's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's track days.
Oh,
Not really. No.
That's not in
race. Ooh, I mean, we'll have to get our facts right for the next one on that side of things. But I know they could open up track days because that's under a different.
I've seen some
racing
race
meetings. There has been race meetings, but are they official or not? I don't know. But we'll actually have to do a bit of homework on
Ireland, Southern Ireland.
There is that. But no, I feel I could sit here and chat all night. I really could. I know you don't want to because you're going to drive all the way back up north. God love you. But honestly,
it's only 2.5 hours.
I know. Oh, God love you. Honestly, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been absolutely mega. And by the way, I wasn't being rude. I was trying to log on to the Patreon questions. Unfortunately, I can't do that on that side of things.
I've got some here.
They come through on your side.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Go for it, my man. Yes, I'm on now. Mick Strickland. Keith is a motorcycle legend and has had an amazing career. I'd like to ask Keith, do you ever regret not setting up the sardine fishing business in Africa? Do you regret that? That's class. That is
Definitely not.
Definitely not. I love it. You got one there, mate?
Yeah, there's a guy here, Thomas Clements. He's saying, Keith AMOR, what a legend. He says, when I was a kid, Keith and other riders did an event in my hometown. You like to pronounce that?
In Carradore, Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. And he gave us 10 quid as I was asking lots of questions. And to this day, I still remember this. I can't wait for the episode. So you made a small boy's day,
Good.
giving him a
At least
tenner.
I've done something decent.
You must be the only person to get a tenner out of a Scotsman willingly.
I actually won 20 quid off Neil Tutsworth at the TT this year in the Superstock race, and it was honestly
class.
He was.
Have you framed it?
He was not. Well, no, it was for charity. The Rosie's at Secret Garden. We're all betting it, and because Davey won it. It was fucking class.
He was like,
Neil does not like parting with cash. Like, he's worse than McGuinness.
I tell you what,
there's a couple of others that we've sort of touched on here. Really, the guy Phil right here just chatting about your crash at Union Mills, and obviously we've sort of touched on that.
Look, there's just a lot of love for your son. It's like Luke here, Keith, you were one of the most underrated riders at the TT during the late 2000s, early 2010s. You were the favourite and least favourite riders to race alongside at the TT. It's a question. No, question mark, separation. Who were your favourite and least favourite riders to race alongside at the TT? Sorry for messing you up.
One and the same. Luke. Bruce, because I used to love racing with Bruce, but fuck, he always used to beat me.
Yeah.
He was just...
Oh, there was one of the races, I can't remember what race it was, I ended up finishing second. But I mean, Bruce was still sleeping in the first part of the race before he got red flagged. I think he was like 6th or 7th. Just weren't interested. And then the second part I was second. And then I was battling for winning, and then Bruce just came in over and fucking smoked me.
Yeah.
beat me by like 6.5 seconds or so. I'm like, for fuck's sake, Bruce, just one.
Yeah. There's a guy, Mike Orton here is asking, we did touch on this, but we didn't actually go too much into the full detail, but he's asking about, we've talked a lot about Johnny, and he's just intrigued, how did you actually meet Johnny? And we talked about all the times you had together. When was your first?
Jonathan.
Yeah, when was your first
Jonathan,
Well done.
After the NEC show, and it would have been 2006 or 7. 6, I think. And him and Eugene, when they were riding for Red Bull, had been out partying the night before and missed their plane. And I was with Billy McKenzie at the time, and Billy knew Jonathan through the motocross.
Right.
And that's how I first got introduced to Jonathan.
And then just hit it off from there.
Yeah, and then we ended up, because what was it, bro? I think Billy was riding for Yamaha factory team in the World Championship, because we were actually all going over to the last round of the MotoGP.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so we were all going over there, all VIP'd up and that, but they were like, yeah, they just had a proper spanking from Linda. Because they'd missed their flight, they were like...
Class.
And they were hungover, which is quite... You wouldn't see that very often.
No, I was going to say, yeah.
But, I mean, they were practically kids, you know.
Yeah, it is a cracking book. If anyone hasn't read it, you should give it a read. I've listened to the audiobook. He doesn't narrate it, but like there's some cracking stories about the early Red Bull days that you don't realise, which I really enjoyed that. Did you live with him for a little while as well, didn't you?
Yeah, 2 and a bit years probably. But yeah.
Has he got any nasty habits?
Yeah, just being better at everything.
Yeah.
Fucking annoying.
Does he piss on the seat? That's what we'll...
Yeah, everything is a competition at Johnson, for getting up in the morning, like fucking everything is a competition, and it doesn't matter what it is, but it's a competition.
Class.
It's like from racing around in the back garden, whatever, on PWs or whatever, to World Championships. It's always the same importance to him, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he just fucking wants to win.
Yeah.
And that...
You can see that now, like, for having had the success that he's had, to still be as committed and dedicated to a World Championship campaign as he is at the minute. Then.
And the bottom line is, I mean, he's got no luck at the minute. But I mean, you don't become 6-time world champion for nothing. You don't forget how to ride a motorcycle, so I think we can read between the lines there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Right, so I'm trying to think, but thank you very much to all our patrons for all your questions on that side of things. Obviously, trying to get it all sorted at the last minute. It's been, but yeah, I keep saying this. Thank you so much for coming down.
Pleasure.
Thank you. It's been absolutely fantastic having you. But I must say thank you so much to our sponsors, obviously OMG Racing. As you can see behind Keith on their YouTube, we have the merch here, and we've got the photos.
Very nice.
Keep an eye on that side of things. And we've got JCT Truck and Trailer Rental. Fantastic. They're just massive fans of the show, and having them on board keeps the wheels turning, literally. And we have our Bennetts message along from the bottom. So the remaining competitions for customers and Bike Social members are now live on the site. So they can enter for VIP hospitality, safety car laps, etc., etc. And obviously they've got track days. We are still in summer. I know it's been pissing down while we've been doing this interview, what summer they are. But, obviously go check that out. And the message from Grace. Obviously, we've got to plug, like, Alan Carter books are being flying off. So we had John McGuinness on the show, and he was talking about how he's read the book and he's absolutely loved every second of it, and they are flying out of it. So please go have a look online. Obviously, have a follow of us on our social media, and we have our new caps, which is mint. We're going to get him sign one before he buggers off north, which is brilliant. And what else have we got? Hold on, here we go. Lovely people at Quick Shifter Coffee are now opening a cafe. Right.
Oh, excellent.
A hard work making it perfect for you guys. Stay tuned on their socials for updates and opening dates, which is absolutely class.
All the best to those guys, because the coffee's lovely, and we, myself and Anna, indulge in that every morning before we go to work.
Oh, brilliant.
They're not open just now, are they?
Not yet. Yeah, I know, just to wake you up.
Crush a few coffee beans up and send you on your way with them.
And obviously, this sponsor episode for the Keith AMOR episode was Jets Technical Services. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. And you know what?
If you do happen to have a spare private jet, anybody, and you've got an issue with it, then give the guys a shout. Yeah,
that's what we have to pay for his jet fuel getting home. I love it. But you know what? I must say, like, thank you not just for sponsoring this episode, but for what you did for Chrissy and what you do for Lissy, and just it's so easy for people to just go, I've had enough, and stop, and do the easy thing by stopping, and they haven't. They're here, they're on the episode, and honestly, thank you so much, you guys.
People like that,
the whole sport's built off the back of passionate people like that who have an interest in it, and obviously there is opportunity for commercial benefit to being a sponsor in the sport, and it does have a big audience and so on and so forth, but you look around the national scene and stuff like that, and it's literally built off the back of passionate people with an interest who want to do the right thing.
100%.
Just keep.
We're lucky in that way, really.
100%, and just don't ever turn in the sheep. Keep being wolves. Go against the tide. Don't just keep doing what you want to do, man. Love it.
Don't say that to me.
I'm loving it, mate. I tell you, got any more final words before we clock off, son?
Yeah, I need to go home.
But, mate, yet again, honestly, thank you so much, pleasure. And we'll catch up with you soon, man.
I hope so.
Way aye. See you in a bit. Cheers, Josh.